Welcome back. You're obviously live with your Feel Good Breakfast show that's about to get even more feel good with one of my favorite features of a Wednesday morning. So I'll set the scene. The colors of blue and red are often used to depict opposing sides, and in this particular story, there is certainly no love lost between the organized and meticulous blue guy and the chaotic and devil-may-care red guy. If only they could learn how to appreciate things from one another's perspective. Well, this is the narrative depicted in a brilliant short animated film titled Paint. That was created by the amazing third-year students from the animation school back in 2015. Let's enjoy. Absolutely brilliant. Messy and creative play is so important. And of course, this is the perfect lead-in for what we're going to be chatting about now, because it's vital for young children. It gives them endless ways to develop and to learn. Standing by with more in-depth information on this is kinderkineticist Catherine Lacey.
Yeah, so clearly you know why I'm excited, because I'm probably the biggest kid in this place right now. So I'm also going to be paying attention to this. And of course, getting out a bunch of brushes, paint, water, or dirt to play with our kids sounds like fun, or maybe adults too, in theory. But the thought of a cleanup process can put some parents off. I know it definitely will for me. Now, today, we're encouraging parents to engage in messy play with our children and to share more about the importance of doing this. Now, kinderkineticist and owner of CPL Kinderkinetics, Catherine Lacey, is here to tell us more. Catherine, how are you doing this morning?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited because obviously, like you heard, I'm going to be paying attention to this too. So yeah, feed us with all this. Yeah. I'm so excited to hear more.
I love that we're speaking about the fact that we should be encouraging this, because I think really with messy play, you're allowing the kids to just expand on getting creative. They get to use their hands, they get to feel around, and they're not just in a box. But is there a right way in introducing messy play to our kids?
I think when it comes to introducing it to your child, it's good to tell them why you're going to be doing what they're doing, and also maybe just to set boundaries. As you say, messy play is messy. So you don't want them to start finger painting the walls in your house, for example. So set out, and you said clean up as well.
Yes.
The easiest thing is to set out a designated area on the ground or do it outside where the mess doesn't really matter. But other than that, I would say there's really no right or wrong way to encourage messy play. You can do anything with them. There's no boundaries. That's the great thing about it. There's no set rules that they need to follow. There's no like end to the messy play. It's just, it is what it is. It just lets the kids create and explain and, you know, their imagination, everything like that.
Do we as parents just let them be, or do we kind of guide them with their messy play? Obviously, you said no boundaries, but at what point do we actually step in and be like, you know what, actually, let me guide you a little bit? Because we obviously want them to have the freedom of creating the mess that they want, but at what point do we step in and be like, actually, let me guide you a little?
You're looking for constructive mess.
Hone it in. I think with that, it depends what your goal is for what you want to get out of your children with the messy play. But honestly, the best thing for them is to just let them be. The only time I would step in is if there's maybe a safety issue, if you have a baby that's about to put something in their mouth. But other than that, I would really just encourage messy play, let the kids be, get down with them, play with them. That's the easiest way. They learn so much through their own imagination, and it allows there's endless possibilities to what they can do, which is the whole idea behind messy play and why you want to encourage it so much.
I like the idea of it. It's almost like you're giving this kid, or your kid, a canvas just to express themselves in whichever way they feel is fit for them, and you're not really like kind of telling them what to do and putting them in that box. So I love that concept, but is it as easy as you say? Because it sounds like it's just like, oh, well, just get a piece of space and let's just do this thing. But maybe you can tell me an example of how exactly we could demonstrate sensory play and this type of engagement, so to speak.
It is easier than you think. One of the easiest ways to do messy play is with water. You know, water, using natural elements, just give them a bucket of water, maybe throw some kitchen utensils in it, like a measuring cup and a soup spoon, and just see what they do with that. Another way is to use sand and send them outside to use the garden, use the elements in the garden. That's all creating different sensory experiences. If you want to get more advanced, you can start including things like paint and Play-Doh and, you know, things that you would maybe need to buy or make. But it's easier than you think. You can use almost anything that you have readily available in your house. You have rice, you can use pasta, you can use chickpeas, you can use bottle tops. You can really get creative with it.
I'm thinking, could you use like a mop and a dustpan and a broom?
Yes,
This is exactly why you don't have kids. This is exactly why you don't have
Be
kids.
smart about this. This could work.
you can buy baby brooms that are about this big. Let's get them to clean them.
You spoke about babies as well. So at what age should we be introducing this to our kids? Because obviously you don't want to just put water in front of a newborn baby. You want to put a paint or a broom, in this case, in front of your baby. So at what age should we be introducing sensory play and messy play?
You can incorporate it quite young. As soon as your baby, if they're doing something like tummy time and you do want to think about incorporating messy play, you can use water. So a way to do that, you would use maybe a baking tray and a very shallow amount of water, and then just let them splash it. Just put it in front of them. It also encourages the lifting of the arms. It encourages arm development. It's fine motor skills. It's a basic way to incorporate it. So quite young.
I'm loving this conversation. And of course, Mzansi, don't worry, because it's going to continue. Catherine Lacey has more tips for us on the importance of messy and creative play, so do not go anywhere.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, Mzansi, and we are, of course, back with our kinderkineticist and owner of CPL Kinderkinetics, Catherine Lacey, as she shares more with us about the engaging activities and creative and messy play with our children, and maybe me too. we're gonna put this to the test, of course, but we were having such an incredible conversation earlier about this. Jamie just touched on the age and the appropriate ages that we were probably going to advise in terms of when it was to play with kids, which I absolutely love.
Yep.
But I want to really put the proof in the pudding here and see exactly what it is that we can do with kids. You mentioned there aren't any rules, and that got my that got me listening a bit more. Like, no rules, absolute freedom. This sounds amazing. But maybe we can put some more structure to this. So I see you've got a box of goodies over
Yes.
there.
Lots of
What
tricks.
exactly is going on? What is this?
It was just some ideas, some things that parents can do at home, maybe using home items, things that they have readily available. And then also just to show the differences between what you can do with different ages. So maybe with a baby, like you mentioned, it's a bit more tricky to do things with them.
Yeah.
Whereas with an older child, you can maybe create it, turn sensory play even into a learning experience.
Okay. Now, my other concern is also I see some small objects here, and I know kids love to
Yes.
put things in their mouth and eat them and chew them. So I would imagine certain elements here are age appropriate too.
Yes.
Can you take us to some of it?
What I've done, what I usually do with the babies, the easiest way to avoid the mouth situation
Yeah.
is to just put it in packets. So this is a great sensory experience, is to have something like rice.
How did you get the rice that color, by the way?
And I dyed it with food coloring. So that's the other thing, is to incorporate different colors.
Colours.
You can
Okay.
get extremely vibrant colors of rice. You can dye pasta, you can cook spaghetti, make spaghetti, different colors. So for babies, I like to keep stuff in the packets, then they avoid the
Chewing their
situation.
in their mouth.
I got you.
So that's the easiest way to do it for the youngest kids.
Yeah.
And then as they get a bit older, you can do something similar to this.
Well,
Hey,
So
that's
this
next
is a-
level. You're giving us so much ideas.
This is a household item that you can find, in your kitchen. I took mine out of my kitchen. And you can just get them to either poke it out, they can pull it out, they can put it back in. You just can put it in front of them and let them explore the objects that they have. Another way is you can put a ribbon in here, you can get creative. You can really, just fill this with anything. And more than likely, as soon as they touch this to their mouth, they're not going to like the texture.
because of that.
They put it back
Fluffy,
in.
and then
That's
put
fine.
it back in. So that's a good way.
Lucas, swallow that?
Probably. You'll tell me all the colours. You're like, Mom, there's yellow, there's green, there's blue. Is there a cut-off stage for when we should not be encouraging and kind of put more boundaries in that? Please, maybe we should start putting boundaries around here.
There's definitely no cut-off age, as you mentioned. You like to do messy play as well. I know for me, when I'm doing things with the kids, I love to get involved with them.
Oh, yeah.
So actually do the activities that I plan with them because, it's fun and
So
it's
it doesn't
engaging.
have to be just like a send the kid off and then I'm going to go do my
No,
work.
not at all.
You can actually engage and actually build on your relationship with your
You can
child as well,
build,
right?
it's great for, communication development and language development. It's got that social aspect when they do it with their friends. There's so many ways behind how you can utilize it. And then, as I mentioned, with older kids, you can use it as a boundary or as a learning tool. So this is also a household kitchen item.
Yeah.
I've just drawn numbers and letters on it.
Yeah.
And then you can take something like a water bottle with a spray bottle. It's encouraging the fine motor development. It's encouraging letter, number recognition. And then they just spray the colors as they go.
Okay.
You can also do that on a much larger surface. You can draw on the driveway with chalk. And then they spray it with the
We're also speaking
outside.
just how important this is because these days, kids are literally glued to their
Yeah,
phones.
they
They're
don't do
sitting with
this
social
anymore.
media. They don't do this anymore. But this encourages just having that communication with your kids, interaction. You said the fine motor skills as well. Why would you encourage parents, again, just to incorporate this into the kids' sensory and child's play?
It's so important because it creates a whole bunch of different sensory experiences, which is so important for your child to develop. It's often the reason why children don't like certain textures of food, they don't like certain items of clothing, and that often comes from not being exposed to multiple different sensory experiences. So that development from that aspect is one of the easiest ways to incorporate that into your child's, every single day. And if you can't do it every day, 1 to 2 times a week, maybe on the weekends, get creative.
I love this. This is
I
golden,
knew.
golden news. I hope every single parent out there right now has been listening and paying a lot of attention, because I think your kids are desperate. They need this. They want this. It's the best gift you could give them. So messy play is integral in the development of our children's physical, verbal, cognitive, social, and emotional skills. Now, there are endless benefits. So parents, let's get down and dirty.
I'm doing it right now because it's just awesome. We think that laughing is one of the best things to do. It's the best medicine, we know that. And at a time where we could all use a laugh, the Crazy Store has created a playful book bursting at the seams with activities and crazy jokes. And with its compilation of jokes submitted by loyal Crazy Store customers, the Crazy Book of Laughs allows you to do good while also enjoying moments of comic relief. 100% of the book's proceeds will be donated to the Children's Hospital Trust. That is amazing. They continue to provide life-changing and life-saving care for all children who come through its doors. I'm so, so glad that we are supporting that initiative. So let's play our part and do it with a laugh. We know sharing laughter is the best thing about telling a joke, and we love it on this set. So we're going to put Uncle Tums and Carl to the test in a Laugh You Lose challenge, where they will share up to 5 jokes, but if it goes neck and neck, we might delve into more from the Crazy Book of Laughs. I'm always laughing. In fact, people recognize me when I laugh. They're like, oh, you're that guy. You know,
So you'd be quiet in the supermarket, they hear you laugh.
I don't care. But it's not me, it's
Okay.
you. So I don't know how I'm going to affect things here, but the rules are simple. Each player takes a turn in reading a joke.
Okay.
And then
from a random page?
If your opponent, laughs, you get a point. As simple as that.
What a way
You
to
can
get a
make
point.
eye contact. You can look lovingly into each other's eyes. You can look away if you have to. Whatever you got to do.
Okay.
But it's going to be tough.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's,
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Do we just go like into any random page?
I mean, there are 100 jokes inside,
Yeah,
so you can
that's
get
what I'm
It's up to
thinking,
you,
'cause
man.
there's
If
a
it,
lot
if it
and a
hits
lot
you
of
in the feels,
categories.
if it feels like it's
Okay,
the
cool.
one, you can do it. The stoic face. Although I'm already seeing a slight little...
Look here, because it's actually, I'm actually laughing at you, Graham. It's not Tabiso yet.
Okay,
All right.
let's give it a go. Okay, so Tubbs, I'm going to
Okay,
give
cool.
you the chance to
All right.
start because
Okay,
he's
cool.
had a bit of experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, cool. All right.
Go for it.
You ready for it? What do you call a sleeping bull?
What?
A bulldozer.
That's pretty...
Should I go again?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Okay, let's go.
Go for it.
All right. Where do cows go on a Friday night?
Where do they go?
So movies.
That wasn't laugh. That's I laughed. I
Did I get that point? Yes, man.
Yes. I cannot laugh at that. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's early in the morning. I get it. Okay.
What did the Dalmatians say after lunch?
What?
That hit the spot. Get it?
Because of the spots in the Dalmatian. Yeah?
Yes.
You did. You worked it out.
Why are you laughing with
telling-
your eyes?
He's smizing.
Not with your face. You're smizing here.
You're lysing. You're
Come on,
laughing
that
with
was-
your eyes. Lysing.
Okay, he's.
Okay. You did it. You did it. All right, so 1 plays 0 still. Carl, take it away.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Isabel.
Isabel who?
Isabel not working.
I didn't laugh.
That is classified as a laugh. I'm sorry.
Yay!
Any expression of joy.
Am I winning? Yay! I love that because
I love
Come on, buddy.
Okay.
You got to claw your way back.
All right.
okay, all right. Ready?
All right. Why did the old man fall in the well?
Why?
Because he couldn't see that well. Well, that is definitely an expression of joy. That's a delightful joke for Carl. Come on. I mean, that's a laugh.
Look, he's not going to laugh, but
no?
he might wet his pants.
We're waiting at this point.
look
We're
here,
really just
when
waiting.
you clap enough, anything is possible. I'm just letting you know. Right. All right, am I going?
Okay, go for it.
What do you call a cute door?
What do you call it?
Adorable.
That was tough. That was tough. Well done.
Last round.
Okay, we're going to call this the
'Cause we've
last
been
round.
going.
Okay.
You can either claw your way back here, or it's going to be a dominance.
What did the one toilet say to the other toilet?
What?
You look a little flushed. Come on.
Looks like he's
Carl?
on the toilet right now.
He actually just like zones up, Sam. That's the only way he can do it.
You do realize internally
You are dying.
Okay, I'm going to... Look, we
Yes.
have a clear winner, but I'm going to let you round us off with one a victory lap, if you will.
Okay. Why didn't the skeleton go to the matric dance?
Oh, why?
Because it had no body to go with.
I love it, man. My dad joke game has been improved drastically. There can
so
only
many
be
good
one
ones
winner,
here.
and
These
I
are
think he
fantastic.
clearly has a superhuman ability not to laugh when it matters most. Can I have a resounding round of applause for the winner of our Laugh You Lose challenge? Yes!
I got one for you, Graham. I got one for you.
Okay, give me one.
What do you call a dog magician? A labracadabrador. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
I
You'll
love
be
this
here
book.
all week.
I love it.
Oh man, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Have made my day, filled with more than 100 laughs, just as good as that to quack you up completely, and also some great activities which might help you in a tough spot in lockdown. Some great word searches, some spot the difference, some crossword puzzles, mazes, colouring in activities to keep everyone, not just the kids, entertained. This is a beautiful resource. So if you're looking to show some support, some love for absolutely a worthy cause, then pick up the Crazy's Book of Laughs at your next visit to the Crazy store from September for only $9.99 in fact. And if you're wondering why other people in the store are laughing, it's because they probably picked one of these up and they're reading it with a 100% commitment to 100% of the proceeds going to the Children's Hospital Trust. It is amazing. You know that your money is going towards a really, really state-of-the-art medical equipment, implementation of new medical treatment programs, the training of medical professionals across Africa. It is such a worthy cause. A little really does go a long way in this case. What did you read? Read it to me. Read it.
Yes, go. Yeah.
Why is Cinderella so bad at soccer?
Why?
Because she always runs away from the ball.
Big or small, we have got it all. Everyone will find something at the Crazy Store. It's no wonder South Africa considers the Crazy Store the crazy fun place to shop.
Only you can make my day.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, happy Wednesday to all of you. You're still keeping it locked here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Right now, though, to a day in the young life of baby Alexis Sky Khosinkwe, the gorgeous daughter of recently graduated teacher, makeup artist, and also lifestyle influencer Vaughan Khosinkwe. She's absolutely so cute.
She is indeed. Now, it's a new mom whose energies and fascination have all been channeled towards giving her child the best start. Now, from health to nutrition to essentially early development, let's see what they get up to.
As a busy mom and wife of Mafikizolo legend Theo Khosinkwe, Vaughan also knows how important it is to take some calm chill time before the rush of the day starts.
Quiet time is very important for me as it helps me to start the day on a lighter note and prepare myself for what's coming for the day. In our quiet time, we do some yoga outside, and I also allow baby to have some fresh air while she's with me.
After some early morning mom and baby zen, the day can begin. And there's no better kickstart than a tasty breakfast. But first, a moment to sanitize before whipping up something delicious for the most important meal of the day.
Breakfast is important in the morning as it gives you a great kickstart for the day, and baby Sky can't go without her Purity baby cereal, so it's definitely her favorite.
With bellies full and minds focused, time for Sky's learning playtime. With a quick wardrobe change for our fashionistas.
Playtime is important as it stimulates the child and also teaches them fine motor skills and gross motor skills. Sky enjoys playing with her musical toys as well as reading, and her favorite toy must be her cell phone. She enjoys the music on here and the small features. But all this playing has sure created an appetite for her, so it's time for her favorite snack. The smoothie that I'm making today is a mid-morning snack which consists of strawberries and her favorite pouch, Purity, mixed fruits and oats. I love making smoothies. It's convenient and super easy to make for a super busy mom like me. She loves any smoothie that has strawberries inside, which is her favorite and mine.
As important in the development of children, life is also about playing and bonding time.
Our favorite activity during playtime must be reading and playing with her blocks.
After a hard day of playing and quality time, there's that other super important activity, nap time. A nice bath is the perfect way to wind down and get ready for bed, especially for children.
My favorite products definitely have to be your Purity bedtime range. You have your Goodnight head to toe wash, and you have your Goodnight aqua cream.
With any number of to-dos still on her list, this busy as can be mom can't resist the peace of mind, body and soul that comes from moments like these.
Didn't I tell you, baby Alexis is the cutest thing ever?
Even yoga.
I was just going to say, the fact that she's doing yoga, but also incorporating nutritional foods into her healthy lifestyle, and again, encouraging creative and messy play. Speaking about nutritional foods, we're going to be making some honey popsicles with mixed berries, and Gia's standing by to show us exactly how to do it.
Yep, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to continue on a nutritional trend with our magical Nutri Kids. Of course, it's a great choice for moms, and it is absolutely magical and delicious for kids. And if you're looking for something special to brighten up their day, maybe a beautiful little treat that's also going to pack in the nutrients, why not try our honey berry popsicles, something that I think they're going to absolutely love, and they are super simple to make. I'm not even going to do it. I'm going to invite my girl, Jamie, in to create something that I think little Luca will absolutely love. I know Jack will love these.
Of
And
course.
it's the
I think we're
season,
going to love it more.
yeah, no, they're great for the whole family, in fact. But of course, they are packed with the right kind of nutrients, which is ideal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you to work because
For sure.
it really is so simple. So we've got berries, obviously of our choice. You can choose whatever you want. We've got beautiful blueberries and strawberries. You can get in
Get
there.
to
Work
work.
out your frustrations.
That
If anyone has made you upset over the last couple of
messy
days, just
play
get
for
in
the
there.
kids. No, it's messy
Yeah,
for me.
I wouldn't use blackberries or blueberries for creative play with your children.
everything will get dirty.
But it's tactile, it's beautiful, and of course you're getting the beautiful nutrients from the fresh berries, which is great.
For sure.
But of course from our Nutri Kids, which is jam-packed with calcium, which we know is vital for a child's development. I actually learned this, that especially at age like 9, 10, where the core of their bone development happens, you need to get your calcium in there as well. So this dairy snack is absolutely brilliant and part of a much broader range. So once you think you've got that down to a good...
Yeah, and I also don't want to mash it up too much because I want to keep the texture of the berries
Yeah, and
everything.
you'll be putting in the yogurt will kind of bind it together, and then
for
it'll go
sure. I
into
think this is
our little
perfect.
molds.
I would also add like a banana in to have the banana texture to it.
Yeah, I love
but I mean,
banana,
you could leave it like
a little
this.
bit of pineapple, whatever your choice
Yeah.
is. I like the berries because they're obviously rich in antioxidants. Great complement to our Nutri Kids, which have, I think, a nutritious range right across the board that includes instant medium-fat milk powder. They've got instant medium-fat dairy liquid blend, low-fat dairy snacks, and of course 3 fun flavors of fruit nectar blend as well. So a range that can suit your lifestyle needs. But today we're obviously using our Nutri Kids dairy snack to make these popsicles. And the Nutri Kids range is set on providing the foundation of healthy development for kids, as it contains essential nutrients and minerals. And as I said, probably the most important for the development of young bones, calcium, strong, healthy bones for kids who are going to play. Okay, so now you're going to take one of these.
So just
guys.
in
You can
case
mix
you
in the
missed the
honey
steps,
and a
you
squeeze
mix the
of
honey,
lemon.
the lemon, and then which flavor?
And obviously,
we have?
honey, to your taste, it's up to you. What do you think?
We have the banana.
Go
we
for the
have
banana. You said
cherry.
you wanted banana in there.
Okay.
You
It's right here.
you do you,
Do
girl.
you, do you, boo.
You do you, boo.
we
And
go.
as
So
you
you'll take
do
one of
that,
that?
what they've done is they've included...
Look at that.
some popsicle sticks as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So the point is they want you to have fun with this. It's a dairy snack, yes, that you can enjoy on your own, and Jack absolutely loves it. I'll pop one of these in his lunchbox, and he absolutely digs them.
You can pop one of these in. Obviously,
I mean, you
depends
can
on how
mix
much
as many
cream
as
you want, but yeah.
as you want.
So just for this one, we'll use one, so you can get nice of the fruit in there. I'm trying to
I
squeeze
suppose
everything.
ultimately you want enough to be able to bind it all together.
Yeah,
I think is the.
I'm gonna scoop
the
in that
key, yeah.
last littles
Well done.
of the dairy snack. And voila, that is our little filling. So we're just gonna mix it
And
in.
now probably the most and only challenging part of this entire
Is putting it in
exercise
there.
is putting it in our.
Dum, dum.
You've really worked those strawberries, eh?
I had a lot of stress.
Clearly,
I
you needed
had
to
a lot of
exercise
stress.
the demons.
This is where you get fun with
Fill
the...
them right up, eh? Don't play around. You're
I'm
going to go
trying
for
to
all
make-
four. Yeah,
Trying to balance
make your
everything
mixture
so
go.
everything can
And we've
fit
got
in.
our little sticks. And the beautiful thing about these sticks is you can reuse them. And really, it's great having these little popsicle things. If you've got a young child, it's such a good way of getting nutrients into their bodies in a fun
sure.
way, something that they'll enjoy. It often can help. You know, we've done the trick of using a little cupcake paper holder that you put over the stick.
This.
So it kind of acts as a little catch, because often a child will play while they eat.
Messy.
And mess goes everywhere.
But also,
so
how
this
cute
a
is
great
this when you're
outside
having a bit of play dates and the kids come over and you're that cool mom and you have this tray and you're coming out with all the popsicles and the kids, you're like, come on over, I made something for you
Check it
guys.
out. And
You
it's,
are going
and
to
it's
be cool.
nutrient rich, which I think is the most important thing.
Pop
And
it
it's
in.
easy as that, and then it pops into the freezer, and voila, you end up with those beautiful Look at that. I think we used a bit more yogurt in those ones, but it's up to you. If you want more fruitiness, if you want more dairy snack, it is completely up to you. And the most important thing here is that you're getting those vital nutrients and minerals, the calcium, into those little bodies.
How long do you think that's going to last in your house?
All of 3 seconds. Well, there's always one left over, and then I'll go open up the freezer to get some. I'm like, there's one left, and then eat it. No, I'll give it to my son. But of course, you can find this amazing, very simple, easy to do recipe on expressoshow.com. Do something to, I think, brighten up the day of your child and maybe your own day as well. But at least you know, you can rest assured that they're getting all the nutrients that they need.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
Purity, as your partner along your parenting journey, are also partnering with Cotlands to help raise 1 million rand towards early childhood development. For every Purity toiletry product purchased this August and September, Purity will donate 1 rand to Cotlands. Together with Purity, you too can help SA's little ones start their big journey and reach their full potential. Another Purity promise fulfilled.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Your timing is perfect. South Africa's biggest rock band, undoubtedly, certainly in my lifespan. Springbok Nude Girls have released their long-awaited brand new album, Party Apocalypse, and they'll be having an official launch on the 2nd of October at the Daisy Jones Bar at OMG. It's available on streaming platforms, and we are incredibly excited about it. To tell us a little bit more about the album, as well as give us a little taste firsthand, are some of the band members, Arno Carstens and Theo Kraus. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We love you, man.
Good morning.
No, I love you, bro. I'm man crush on you, eh? You know that, eh? You do know that, though. You've proven your professionalism. You arrived here at about 3:45 this morning. Okay, as the pros have to, so thank you so much for that. I've got to ask you this. I'm going to turn the tables because you've been doing this so successfully for so long. I know what you mean to me. Like, you are the first, and all due respect to the pioneers that came before you, but you were the birth of rock and roll for me. I remember traveling to go and meet my sister at Stelli's, to go and watch you guys in the early days, and it was just something that I'd never experienced before, and you were part of that revolution.
Yeah.
What does the New Girls mean to you? Why do you keep going back for more?
Oh, the thing is, the Nude Girls for me is a whole lifetime. It's an organism. And a beautiful piece of my life that I cannot give up on, kind of thing. The music and the band members, but I think mostly there's a magic. Every band's got a magic, if they've got a magic. And over the years, I've realized together we've got a certain magic, and therefore we just miss doing the music, and we keep going back and writing new stuff every now and then.
What is that process like? You got to find yourself a man that looks at you the way that Anu looks at you. That's very special. What is it about this creative union? Even watching you guys jam a little bit when you first came into studio, and you still look like a 12-year-old kid who's like, oh, I love that, put that in. You know, there seems to be this love and excitement to create together. What is that all about, man?
I don't know. I think it's I think the energy happens if there's an energy between band members or between two people. It happens automatically, and so then after that it's just nurturing whatever there is. You know, in the beginning, you might not even want to nurture it because you don't know what to do with it, you know?
Just let it loose.
Yeah.
Let it loose on stage.
Then, but later on, you discover how to nurture a creative relationship and what works best for everybody and how it complements. And sometimes the complement, to complement the relationship becomes easier with time, you know?
Does that mean creating this album was the easiest? Or was it the most challenging?
It was kind of easy, but kind of very challenging, actually. Because we, like, Adrian Brandt lives in the USA, Arne Bloemen lives in the UK. I think we were only together for a month. We had some shows, so we thought, okay, let's use this to make an album.
Yeah.
But still, that is not you need about 3 months to really write a bunch of good songs.
Yeah.
And then thing is, but, you know, we kind of knew it was going to happen, so we planned in advance and wrote a whole bunch of stuff. So it wasn't such a smash, but it was still a bit frantic. It was like a party apocalypse.
hence the name.
Yeah.
There is an expectation when you guys come together and when you perform. I think seeing you perform is just absolute magic. So I'm so glad we're moving into the phase that we are, and I hope that you are able to play this new album and tour this album and play together and go overseas and do festivals. And I hope that's the future that's in store for you guys, because hopefully that's where we are right now. But that coming together, obviously now you've got fans that want. What's the reception been like? How are you feeling about the new work? Is it new?
Amazing.
Is it the same as the old?
Man,
no.
We didn't expect this, huh?
Yeah, I mean, every time you put something out, you wonder, like, I mean, we're excited. But every album we're excited.
Still are you?
You know, every album we go like, this is going to be this album, you know? But what was amazing was the reception just from fellow peers as well. You know, people that's been with us in the industry.
Yeah.
That have, like, I think the reception for us it has been overwhelming and much better than what we thought it will ever be.
Yeah, and after so many years, it's very humbling. It's like, because you don't expect, you know, we do it now just because we really love making music, and we can do it. But to have this response, it's lovely.
It's lovely. No, you guys warrant it, man, because you've paved the way, and I am so appreciative of the fact that you're here to perform new music, hopefully a little bit of old music.
Pressure's on.
It is on, man. The fans demand it, but it really is. It's so good that you guys are still here and influencing South African music in the way that you are, and I think the rest of the world is looking. No expectations, but really, really pleased that both of you got up at 1:45 this morning to get here so early.
Mow the lawn.
to be here for you, because they are here to perform just for you. So whatever you're doing this morning, stop it and just soak it up. He's wearing long johns under these. He got his pajamas underneath his pants, because that's how prepared he was to come and perform for you.
It's a new look, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's going to go international. The Springbok Nude Girls are still here producing the best music the country can offer, and they're going to be performing for you in just a moment.
Well, we certainly can't wait. But the time now is 1 minute after 7. Time to have another look at those news headlines. Starting with your local news, a recent survey has shown that more than 50% of South Africans do not have a last will and testament. With this week being a National Wills Week, a prominent insurance company has said that between COVID-19, various climate disasters and social unrest, they had found that 84% of respondents had become more aware of their own mortality. However, despite this, many still do not have a last will. The study found that 46% of women indicated they had wills in comparison to 54% of men. And then new data from the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority and the Department of Health shows that while there have been many reports of common negative side effects from COVID-19 vaccines, none are directly attributed to deaths in the country. This as South Africa surpassed the 15 million COVID-19 vaccinations mark yesterday. While the government's vaccination drive was visibly ramped up over the last few months, authorities still have to counter the spread of misinformation about vaccines and the efficacy, thus cultivating vaccine hesitancy within the population. On the international front, aircraft manufacturer Boeing says it expects that it will take another 2.5 years for global aviation to return to pre-pandemic levels. Its Vice President of Commercial Marketing, Darren Hulst, said long-haul international routes would take the longest to recover, partly because of government restrictions. Last year was the worst year on record, with passenger numbers falling by 60% to 1.8 billion and the industry losing $126 billion. Boeing says that the strength of the global economy is key to recovering from the slump. And then Somali-British novelist Nadifa Mohammed and South African author Damon Galgut are among the 6 shortlisted authors for the 2021 Booker Prize, a top literary award. Galgut has been nominated for a 3rd time. His book, The Promise, follows a white family over the decades from pre to post-apartheid. Mohammed's book, The Fortune Men, is set in the docks of the Welsh capital Cardiff in the aftermath of World War II. Now, this is the 2nd year that 2 African authors have made the shortlist. Right now, though, let's take a look at news from the world of entertainment. September 2021 marks half a century since the writing, recording and release of the late John Lennon's Imagine, considered one of the greatest songs of all time. Imagine has become a global anti-war cry, selling more than 21 million copies. The lyric encourages people to imagine a world of peace without materialism, without borders separating nations, and without religion. And to quote, "Imagine a world with nothing to kill or die for." Last week, the lyric of Imagine was projected on buildings around the world, from the Houses of Parliament and St. Paul's Cathedral in London to Times Square in New York, to mark the 50 years since the famous Beatle released the famed track and album. It was also made available in more than 100 languages, including Sesotho, Shona and Zulu. A limited edition pressing of the Imagine album as a double LP on white vinyl was also released this past weekend to mark the anniversary, and this truly is a song that evokes hope, especially in the challenging times the world's experiencing at present. On that note, that is where I wrap your 7 o'clock news headlines. Here's G with another look at the sports.
Thank you so much, Jamie Lee. Let's start with cricket, and the writing's been on the wall for a while now. Batter Lazaldi has officially moved to the top of the ICC batting rankings following a brilliant run of form in the ODI series against the West Indies. Salih has scored some 187 runs in 3 innings, including an unbeaten 78 in that 3rd ODI as the Proteas took an unassailable 3-0 lead in their 5-match series. The 8 wickets in Monday's game also ensuring that South Africa claimed their first ever series victory against the Windies. And staying with the sport, South Africa wrapped up their tour of Sri Lanka with a massive 10-wicket win in the 3rd and final T20. So the hosts won the toss and chose to bat first, but were restricted to just 120 for 8. The Proteas, Born Fortuin and Kagiso Rabada taking 2 wickets each for the team. Then in response, openers Quinton de Kock and Reza Hendricks didn't need any help. They were dominant with the bat, scoring 59 and 56 respectively to see us across the line. Then on to football. A bit of a shock. Man United began their Champions League campaign with a 2-1 loss to the Young Boys. So Cristiano Ronaldo put United ahead before Aaron Wan-Bissaka was sent off. Then the Swiss side equalised after 66 minutes before scoring the winner in added time. And tonight, the record winners in the tournament, Real Madrid, they kick off their campaign against Italian champions Inter Milan. The sides last met in the group stages of last season's competition, as well with with Madrid winning home and away. Then we've got Lionel Messi set to appear for the PSG for the first time in the Champions League. That is the French Giants take on Club Brugge. Then Liverpool will play AC Milan, with the two sides meeting for the first time outside of a final. You might remember the teams both in the 2005 and 2007 finals, with the Reds winning the historic match in Istanbul before Milan got the upper hand 2 years later. So lots on the line tonight. And then on to news coming out of the Springbok camp. Springbok lock Nicholas Janssen van Rensburg sadly will miss the remainder of the Rugby Championship. That's after being forced to withdraw from the squad due to personal reasons. 27-year-old who made his Springbok debut against Argentina, Nelson Mandela Bay, was one of 5 specialist locks in the touring squad, the others being Lut de Jager, Eben Etzebeth, Franco Mostert and Marvin Orrie. The Boks will play Australia again on Saturday, looking to bounce back from last weekend's narrow 28-26 loss. Well, if you missed any of those details, we'll do it one more time at 8 o'clock. Right now, then, let's give you a global weather perspective and some of the temperatures here in SA.
Thank you so much, Gene. Now, to kick off our weather report at 7 this morning, we're going to look at some of our African country associates. And Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta has declared a national disaster due to drought that has ravaged 10 of 47 counties that make up the East African nation. Now, Kenyatta has also instructed the National Treasury and the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government to spearhead government efforts in assisting affected households, including water and relief food distribution, as well as livestock uptake. Now, the decision was made after Kenyatta met with 85 leaders from Kenya's arid and semi-arid lands, led by Treasury Secretary Ukur Yatani. Now, the presidency noted that more details of the comprehensive drought mitigation measures would be unveiled in due course. Now, at least 2 million Kenyans have been hit hard by the current drought, and predictions are that the dry spell will worsen in coming months. Now, while we can relate to dealing with drought here in South Africa, we thought we would turn towards the positive as we take a look at some of the sunrise photos shared with us. Now, starting us off this morning, we've got Nancy Govender from Pennington, who captured this picturesque shot showing the sun rising over the ocean. What a gorgeous view to start your day with. I'm here for that. And William Jumat from Sakis Bay shared this photo overlooking the bay as the sun rises, changing the sky from hues of orange to blue. Just magnificent. And now, we did mention earlier that we will be touching base with the 5FM team shortly, but ahead of that, we had to showcase this photo shared by Nadia Romanos, who's part of their team. I mean, come on, just take a look at this stunning silhouetted shot with Cape Town as the new day begins. Thank you so much, Mzansi, of course, for sending in these beautiful pictures. Clearly, you can see it puts a smile on my face and the rest of the studio, as well as the country. But now, to take a look at the weather around the country. Starting off at Polokwane, we've got a low of 15 and a high of 32 for your day, with sunny skies all the way around. Mbombela starts the day on 13, moving up to a scorcher at 34 degrees Celsius. And then Pretoria starts the day on 14, moving up to 31 degrees, with sunny skies expected for the day. Johannesburg, similar sky conditions. Very sunny, 13 is your low with a high of 28 degrees. Mahikeng, a low of 10, moving up to 32 degrees for the day. And then Klerksdorp, very similar, a low of 9 and a high of 32 degrees. And then Kimberley starts the day on 5 degrees and moves up to 24. And then moving on from Kimberley, we have Bloemfontein with a low of 2 and a high of 25. And then Richards Bay starts the day on 17, moving up to 23 degrees Celsius with 25% chance of cloud cover. And then Pietermaritzburg, very similar, with a 25% cloud cover, low of 12 and a high of 23 degrees Celsius. And then Durban starts the day on 17, moving up to 24 with 56% chance of rain coming through. And much the same from Tata, with 65% chance of rain, of a low of 8 and a high of 19 degrees. East London starts the day on 11, moving up to 17 with 61% chance of rain. And then Cradock has some cloudy skies with 25% coverage, a low of 5 and a high of 16 degrees for the day. Gqeberha starts the day on 10, moving up to 17 with 57% chance of rain coming through. And then George, you start your day on 8, moving up to 15 degrees with 25% cloud coverage for the day. And much the same for Cape Town, with 25% cloud coverage, a low of 10 and only a maximum of 16 for your day. And then Worcester starts the day on 4, moving up to only 16 degrees. Sutherland, your day starts on a chilly 2 degrees, moving up to 13 degrees Celsius. And then last but not least, we have Uppington. Your day starts on 6 degrees and moves up to 20 degrees Celsius with sunny skies expected all the way around. And once again, thank you so much, Mzansi, for sending in those beautiful pictures. I think Nick Hammond has a heritage tour going on, and we've got some updates, so let's find out more about that right now.
Oh, yes, indeed. It's going to be a feel-good day because we are connecting with Nick Hammond along with the 5 Drive team all the way from Fordsburg, Gauteng to get the latest updates on his heritage tour, uncovering South Africa's hidden gems. I always get FOMO around this time when he goes on these tours. They have so much fun. But guess what? We have Bibi Mbangula, Nadia Romanos and Jude van Wyk. Glad to connect with you all as well. A very good morning to all of you.
Hey. Morning. We've got a friend that's joined us today. I hope you don't mind.
Already got FOMO.
Yeah, the FOMO only gets worse. Nick, I'm going to start with you, man. You guys obviously in Fordsburg at the moment. What have you learned from your latest adventure?
So, the suburb of Fordsburg is tucked away just behind the Johannesburg CBD, and since I moved from Cape Town to Joburg about 5 years ago, I started traveling to this really interesting melting pot of cultures. I go there about once a month to get a shave and very often to get a curry, but there's so much more to the place than just that, which we quickly uncovered from our visits there. The place is... The place has its early history in the mining days of Johannesburg, where a lot of people that were trying their luck on the gold rush bought low-cost housing to live in the area. Following that, it quickly turned out to have a strong Indian presence, which it still very much has to this day, but included in that, a melting pot of cultures from all over the African continent and Arabic world call the place home. Fordsburg is the perfect place to go and hang out and try delicious foods, come into contact with amazing people from all over the world, and also buy incredible textiles from all these different countries. It's a place well worth checking out and a deep and important part of South Africa's history that I would highly recommend you stop over at next time you're in Gauteng.
Oh yes, please can we go with you next time? We really do want to go. Maybe Nadia, I can ask you this question because you have been serving us food golds on this trip. Tell us about the delicious lunch you enjoyed in Fordsburg as well.
Oh my gosh, we had the most amazing lunch ever. It arrived in this parcel. We went to this very famous place, I think it was 4th generational place in Fordsburg, and we ordered food together. It arrived in one big newspaper parcel. We unwrapped it and we just got this incredible scent of like masala spice, and there was slap chips everywhere, hake, which was crusted in this delicious masala spice. We also had Viennas and Russians, and it was just absolutely delicious because it came with these fresh bread rolls. And what you do, or what we did anyway, is you cut it in half and you stuff everything in there and you eat it, and it was so good. It was like a whole experience. It was really special.
Now my mouth is watering as well.
Yes, I'm so hungry. I want a chip roll. I want a chip roll right now. Jude, I'm going to turn to you next. I've got to ask, because you've all got kind of varying musical tastes, what music have you guys been listening to on your road trip, and whose music taste surprises you the most?
So yeah, I mean, when we're in a big city where 5FM does pick up, I mean, we're always listening to our people. But when we're in the middle of nowhere and need a playlist of some sort, we listen to all kinds of music, hip-hop, house, the Yanos makes an appearance now and then. And the person whose playlist I'm most surprised about is actually Bibi's. I actually went through her personal favorites playlist, and it has everything, and like half of it is on my favorites playlist, which is awesome. And there's a lot of times on the road where we all singing along and being all jovial, and it's a proper road trip. I'm really enjoying it. And speaking about road trips, I mean, everyone, when they go on road trips, you need a road trip playlist. And right here on 5 Drive on 5FM, we're actually doing a competition between 2 South African songs that gets added to the 5 Drive road trip playlist, which is pretty awesome, that we do on the show daily, and you can get involved. So you just need to listen to the show every day and, yeah, pick the best song.
We can play our part. I love that, yeah.
Bibi, I knew you'd come through with all the music, all the playlists. But like Nick said, you know, Fordsburg is a melting pot of cultures. What does South African diversity mean to you?
Man, there are so many different cultures in South Africa. In fact, actually, South Africa is like a cultureception. You think you know the culture of a place, and you go there and you learn more, and there is so much more that you didn't know even existed in a particular area, and you learn so much more about all these cultures. And what this means to me is that there is always something to learn about our beautiful country. We can always learn something from our neighbor, the people driving past us, the people we walk past on the shops. They can teach us so much about the incredible diverse cultures, and there are so many incredible things that we do that are similar in our cultures but are just divided by like our provincial borders or any little borders actually, and there's so many cool things to learn about this beautiful country.
Oh man, well thank you for being that conduit to bring that culture to us, that history. We absolutely love it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Tune into the show today, 3 to 6 p.m. on 5FM, and we'll be back with you again tomorrow on the show.
I'm beginning to think we need to hit the road, hey?
We do.
maybe
After my
need to
Durban
do
trip,
yes,
after my Durban trip,
girl.
I'm like on a high night, just want to travel to every city in South Africa.
Maybe a live broadcast is coming to your town.
Who
That's
knows?
just an idea I'm going to plant there. That's the 5 Drive team celebrating South Africa's hidden gems with their amazing heritage tour this Heritage Month. And you can listen in on all of their adventures and listen to them eat Gatsby's and the most delicious food on 5FM weekdays from 3 until 6 p.m.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, welcome back, Mzansi. You know what that sound means. We've got JP Sebastian in the building, and it's time to check out the latest in the trailers that he has to offer. JP, how you doing this morning, bro?
I am feeling not this, just JP.
Just JP?
I know whenever I'm opposite, I feel like I need to go back to gym. So like,
All right, well, I'm here for you if you need some inspo. If you need some inspo in journeying into the journeying into a new way of life, and you can clearly figure out why I'm saying journeying, because I think I figured out your theme for the next 3 movies. Am I right? No?
Yeah. I think you're getting a lot more creative than JP. Usually what he's just doing here, I would put myself in the third person, like Mike Tyson or something like that. So what JP is doing this morning.
You have that
the other mornings, I try 4 movies first, and then the gigantic blockbusters that might come out. But this week, a bunch of pretty big names in all of these movies came out. So
yeah,
first one,
Moonfall, has an incredible star-studded lineup, man. Tell me about this concept, because it's a little bit scary, to be honest with you.
Again, you're way too diplomatic, way too kind to movies. This is directed by Roland Emmerich, so come on, man. When I tell you Independence Day, when I tell you 2012, when I tell you the day after tomorrow, you know you're dealing with a cast apocalypse, man. The apocalypse. That makes no sense at all.
He's like a specialist in this, so we can expect much of the same for this one?
Dude is reliably corny, but I say that with love. Like, you know, and I know, if Independence Day is on TV, we're sitting down and like telling ourselves, why am I inflicting this on my brain? But it's so addictive. He's the go-to dude for this. And so if you weren't too big on his World War II one midway, then definitely he's going to be probably back with the same old reliable cast going into the more sci-fi realm of things. Great to see Halle Berry in it. Obviously, she made a great comeback in John Wick, where she was a scene stealer in number 3. And what you're looking at there is, surely this is just the end of the movie that we're looking at in this teaser trailer, because what's happening is, very cleverly, the movie's called Moonfall because the moon falls. And we have weeks to figure that out. So,
But apparently is there a potential solution? How do you stop the moon from smashing into the earth? It seems like impending doom. I mean, what else do we have here? We've got another choice.
with various herbs and spices needed to fulfill that conversation while we'll park the brains when Moonfall lands in South Africa. That's 2022 February.
All right, come on. I'm loving it. And speaking of come on. The title of the next movie, what's this about, man?
Are you clever, man? Come on is Joaquin Phoenix, and it's him in a much more tender role than we're used to. So obviously we just saw him get the Oscar for Joker, and I think people regularly, maybe yourself too, we recognize him as this hardcore specialist actor. His characters are go-to, the mentally twisted dude. Commodus, remember, from Gladiator?
Yes.
People forget that too. Freddie Quell from The Master, which not enough people have watched, which is a masterpiece. But come on, is so much more of a tender ride than what we're used to, and clearly Oscar bait. Anything that's black and white after the masterpiece that was Roma is probably in the ballpark for knocking it out. For Oscar glory.
But I mean, especially when you've got someone like Joaquin in the building as well in this production, it definitely is the recipe for somewhat of an Oscar. So I always look forward to the man. I mean, looking at his last performance, like you said, it was incredible, it was captivating, and it'll be interesting to see him play this role without that dark twist that you often see him having in his roles that he plays,
He deserves that. Something that's a bit more like, I mean, he's a fantastic actor. He's not just, like I said, a specialist that will do the evil guy or do this guy. He wants to do more. And in this, he is a guy who has to take up the job of basically being father to a kid who's just lost his aunt, or lost his mother, who is Joaquin Phoenix's sister, and he has to sort of retour planet Earth through the eyes of a child. Looks like it's going to be a total tearjerker, enough of a little giggle here and there, sure, but the plumbing of the human soul and all the kind of tenderness we deserve after the hard time that we've been through over the past 2 years. Come on. No date in it for yet, but like I said, Oscar glory, we'll get a date eventually.
Beautiful stuff. And now, last but not least, could this be crazier than Moonfall? We're talking about Encounter, something that might even be realistic. We're talking about aliens here, right? Which a lot of people have questions about, a lot of people have facts about. I don't know what your thoughts are, but what's your thoughts on this movie, though? We won't get into conspiracies right now, don't worry.
I love that you're like desperately trying to open the floor. Like, Doral, do you have folders at home marked like X and Y and like, do you believe in it? Oh, okay. No. Of course, yes. The black helicopters. Any second. Let's move along. We were just talking about a movie. I play into the implant in my own tooth. Encounter stars Riz Ahmed, who obviously is also an Oscar glory dude. Last time was Sound of Metal that he was in. And like you said, this is totally just alien abduction, them trying to survive on the run, whether from one end, from these alien creatures, which may or may not exist. He might just be being totally paranoid because he's got a military history of his own. These are some striking visuals, by the way. It looks really, really well filmed.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, he might be chased down by the government, but all the while, similar to Joaquin Phoenix, he's trying to be a good father to his sons. Try and keep things on an even keel, help them get through what might be a very dangerous situation. Remember a bit like Signs with Mel Gibson, where they're all just trying to hunt it down on the farm. One dude, his family, the whole planet won't believe him that, S is yet in the fan. Encounter, no date in there just yet, but it looks eye-popping stuff.
It does indeed. It looks like something that we can all get behind and associate with. JP Sebastian coming through with all the good stuff. Brother, it's always a pleasure catching up with you, of course, and I hope you've got some more for us later. Stick around. JP Sebastian in the building, and of course, the magic on this show will continue.
We shall continue. Some great films there. I'm actually a little bit like, swept away. Absolutely love it. Thank you, Mr. JP Sebastian. I'm going to give you a quote now from a famous French writer, Victor Hugo, who once said, "Life is a flower for which love is the honey." It's so true. We love our honey. And one other thing that we love just as much, of course, is our coffee. We did a bit of a deep dive into one of the new systems that Expresso is offering yesterday. So we are so inspired by our coffee. But now we're going to take a bit of a left turn with this. It's one of the things we love the most in the world, and we're going to be creating something quite beautiful. We're going to combine the two, our two loves, honey and coffee, for an iced honey turmeric latte. It's going to be healthy because we've got the turmeric in it. It's going to be refreshing, and it's going to be quite different. So you're going to take us through the blow by blow.
You're making me work today, but it's fine.
No, I am.
do it just for you.
So we're going to be using our Voluto, which I love.
And I need you to give me 2 shots of espresso for this one.
Okay.
So there's already a pod in, so just pop it in and put it on.
It's
correct.
going to do it.
What you're going to do is you're going to take your milk, whichever milk you choose. I'm kind of going the almond milk route this time.
I'm finding oat milk. They've got such good barista blend oat milk on the market at the moment that it just works so well with coffee. I find it complements the flavor of coffee really well. But
For sure, but of course, whichever one you prefer, you can go almond milk and use normal cow's milk. And then, of course, the hero dish here for the dish is the turmeric, and that's going to go in.
Double shots.
There we go.
What I like about the velouto, it's kind of like the real Mac Daddy. It's obviously the OG, but it's like a real kind of middle of the road. It's a medium roast, so it's not too dark, it's not too light. It's not too heavy. It's got a beautiful biscuity, kind of well-rounded aftertaste. I absolutely love this coffee.
Now keep that in mind with the turmeric, with the honey and the milk of your choice. Just see that blend that's going to just pair so beautifully.
The turmeric, which is quite a, it's obviously quite a distinctive flavor, but it's going to complement, almost enhance those biscuity notes of the velouto. Here we go.
Sure.
Here it is. Oh, look at that crema.
Definitely. So this, we're just going to, again, this is hot milk. You're going to put your ice, give that a nice stir because you really just want that honey.
And we learned this yesterday. You know, that crema is so important because that locks in the flavor and the aromas of the coffee, which is part of the sensory experience of drinking coffee. Yeah?
I don't think anyone is ready for the new Nespresso system.
No,
it is going to be a game changer.
Blowing.
You are going to put your ice blocks in. Obviously, it is an ice turmeric latte. And just fill it up. And then a beautiful little
when
mixture.
When it comes to superfoods, turmeric is on the list of superfood. It's got so many kind of healthy properties to it.
Are you ready?
And it's a funky color.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And there we have it. You can give it a nice little stir.
Right, I'm ready.
Don't mess.
Ready,
Don't
man.
mess. There you go.
Okay.
And it is served.
Let me have a little taste.
First, you have to
I always
smell it.
I know,
You
I
have
must
to
look
smell
so
it.
weird, but I always like close my eyes and smell my coffee beforehand.
To be a coffee connoisseur, give it a bit of a swirl, smell it. It's a moment. Now take me through the experience of that moment.
It's nice because it's not too sweet. The turmeric, you kind of get a hint of it, but it's not an overpowering kind of... I can understand why people go to this. It's refreshing, it's nice, and you know you're getting kind of the health benefits, but it's
and
great.
And the velouto.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely beautiful. Yeah, because
right?
you're getting a coffee. You don't want a milkshake, you want an iced latte. That's brilliant.
Okay. You don't have to drink everything. You can keep some for later.
That's lovely. It's very well balanced. Absolutely
I'm happy.
beautiful. Well done.
I'm very happy that you love it because it really is one of my favorites to make as well.
It's such a
turmeric as
surprising
well,
taste.
But
It's really, really interesting.
Superfood as well in there. Boom.
Boom, put that in your drink. Absolutely beautiful. To help you create your own delicious spring-inspired drinks, we've got an amazing prize up for grabs. A Nespresso Essenza mini bundle, okay? That's 5 sleeves of coffee included in the mix there, worth 3,455 Rand. Look at that. It's up for grabs this morning. To stand a chance of winning this incredible prize, you've got to reply to the competition post on our Facebook page, our Twitter, or our Instagram page, and tell us what is your favorite way to drink coffee in spring. Remember to include the hashtag Nespresso Expresso, and the competition closes on Sunday, the 26th of September. So you've got a little bit of time to get really creative. I think we're going to get a lot of entrants for this one, so really push the boat out. You can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com, which is incidentally where you can find this recipe as well. I really do suggest
this is how you should drink it. This is how you should drink it. Spring, summer, winter, autumn, every single season.
It is super refreshing. It's just
With
so
every cup,
interesting.
we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment. Because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso. What else?
Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Of course, it's that time where we get to dance, celebrate, and enjoy this magic behind me over here. But before we do, gents, I've got to say, I'm a fangirl, of course. I've been watching you guys, been listening. What is it like, though, after all this chaos, to be back here performing with Mzansi and doing your thing?
Very honored, very humbled. Thank you very much. And very nervous.
Oh, come on. I don't believe you get nerves these days, man. But Theo, for you as well, I mean, an honor to be back here again.
Yeah, yes, sir. Cannot actually believe it's 13 years.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I think Mzansi's been anticipating and eagerly awaiting this. So without further ado, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Mzansi, Springbok Nude Girls with Flashlight. The stage is yours. Take it away, gents. Woo!
Flashlight, you're lazy, like old perfume. She said I'm dull as darkness, so I spun a cocoon. You hold it, keep your darkness at bay. Tonight is just a slither of what's coming, and tomorrow we'll find a way. Flashlight, you dive in deeper, stay with me. Don't pick on the brittle bones, don't pick on the shattered. You keep on sleeping, dream. I'll be in the in-between, the brightest shadow you have ever seen. Flashlight, flashlight, and in a hotel room there's a ghost in the ballroom whose booty's trussing the top floor. And in the corner there's a ghost of a DJ dying, totally ignored. And there are shattered space and shattered spaces beyond the forgotten door. And there's a feeling that the light of the old booth will shine once more. Flashlight, flashlight,
Yes, yes, yes. All those feelings of being somewhere out in the open, on the holiday, nostalgia, love. It's somehow, you just bring the emotions out of me, man. I think that all of Mzansi can agree with me. Stellar performance, absolutely legendary. I'm getting a tear in my eye. And of course, Mzansi, don't go anywhere, because that was just the first of many by these legends. Springbok Nude Girls are going to be coming at us in a bit with some more stellar performances. So don't go anywhere. Yes, man.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, as promised, JP Sebastian's back in the building with round 2 of some stellar trailers just for you. JP, oh, I'm excited about this one, man. The second one, which we're going to get to soon. But before we do, let's talk about the card counter. What do you got for us?
Card counter. My brain just flatlined because I'm so excited about the second one as well. I know. But we're forced to talk about other movies before we get to number 2, which is fantastic for me because both the director and the actor in this, Oscar Isaac, everyone's boyfriend at the moment, mine and yours included, plays the card counter, which we will see in South Africa on October 22nd. I'm really just going to do like a shopping list on what this movie is because my brain is elsewhere. But like I said, oh, and Willem Dafoe there, good shot. Yes, great actor. Always gets cast in Paul Schrader movies, virtually always. I keep saying Paul Schrader. Why does that name matter? Most people, unfortunately, won't know that name necessarily, but it's the dude who wrote 3 of Martin Scorsese's greatest movies. Oh, wow. The writer of Taxi with Robert De Niro, the writer of Raging Bull, directed by Scorsese, the writer of Bringing Out the Dead with Nicolas Cage. So he's always done these movies about a guy simmering, just like a dynamite fuse ready to blow at any second, and Oscar Isaac plays this character who throughout this teaser trailer, which doesn't give me enough information, or you for that matter, so I'm just trying to hype you up here. This character is very much cards close to the chest. You find out that he spent some time in jail, you find out he has a military background, he did some things he regrets, he's looking for redemption. And how can I forget there? I mean, goodness gracious, the cast aside from Ty Sheridan, aside from Oscar Isaac, we've got Tiffany Haddish, who really looks like she's getting into very, very sort of interesting characters, not being typecast to do a certain type of comedic role or anything like that. Very excited for whatever she does in her career, because she is actually dynamic and not just a goofball in a clown when she absolutely does that dimension of herself very well. Card counter looks like it's an intense slow burner. Maybe that's for you, maybe it's not, but with Paul Schrader behind the wheel, who's, you know, sometimes writers can't make the leap towards director. He does it just fine. Last movie was First Reformed with Ethan Hawke, fantastic, and I'm sure that the card counter October 22nd in South Africa will also do the trick. Oscar Isaac, what a good actor. Poe Dameron from Star Wars, and you know, unless most people don't know.
Better and better. Yeah, man, beautiful stuff. Definitely.
She made stable of poker players, and you know, stuff goes downhill or uphill from there. We'll find out soon enough.
We will indeed. Now, JP, I know we're all excited about this one. I have to be honest, one of the most influential films of my time. It made me believe in me. It made me believe that I was the one. We're talking about The Matrix Resurrections. It's happening. And to start it all off with, we've got the main actors back as well. Keanu Reeves, what? What? Is this real?
Man, just Keanu Reeves. I mean, we've got Carrie-Anne Moss as well. I mean, please, if they had only given me Lawrence Fishburne, but playing a younger Morpheus in this is Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who looks interesting enough. Starts out with a little scene here, which we'll get to eventually, but they can take 7 years of building that title sequence if they like. I don't care. Shot of San Francisco, present day. Who knows? Well, who knows in the Matrix? A black cat, deja vu. Sorry,
Whoa,
cheesy
there's a
reference.
glitch in the Matrix.
Yes. There's a glitch. Ryle, we've been so nerdy. Don't worry, my username was the one and my password was steak as well on Windows 95.
Oh, I love it. Oh, man, and I'm seeing, again, like you said, a star-studded lineup, some visuals which are looking very ominous, very mysterious, but much like The Matrix, you don't really actually know what's going on. You just have this compelling belief in something.
You were really touched by the series, I know it. I know you also stayed up at 3 a.m. like, you know, when you were supposed to be having sleepovers with your friends, and you're just like, brah, let's just read Plato's Myth of the Cave. I want to know, I want the knowledge. Are we in it?
You got me. You got me there. Definitely. And one thing I'm noticing here, obviously, from the film in the past, there was this big play on Lawrence Fishburne asking, do you want the red pill or the blue pill? Yeah. And I see a lot of blue pills in this right now. So, well, there's the red one as well. But the white rabbit's there as well. Oh, man, I'm getting so excited, JP. I don't know if you can see this.
Go listen to the trailer as well, because the version of Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit, man, I get goosebumps when you hear "Remember," because the singer's begging you and Neo and all the fans to remember the joy that this movie brought for us. I swear, the last time I felt excited for a movie was probably The Matrix. There was a whole culture of hype around it. People were buying dusters and looking like complete nerds wearing black sunglasses at night because we were so...
JP, I was so desperate. I was so desperate to get one of those long leather black coats. Mine ended up being pleather because I couldn't afford the real one. And I used to throw paper at myself and dodge. I mean, I did it all, man. I did it all. Absolute fangirl over here. Oh.
Look, I suppose I should try and tell you a little bit of what I think is going on in the trailer. And
yes.
Going to learn it. But really what looks very clever about this trailer is that there's a certain patina, a certain fakeness to society that we might be used to from really sort of cheesy churn-out streaming service type movies, because the reality of The Matrix is quite different from what we're used to back in the day. It was all green, it was all dull, it was all office cubicles and stuff like that. But the happy-go-lucky feeling is almost the dangerous fakeness. I cannot wait for Matrix Resurrections. Oh, the fourth movie, I can't believe it, 18 years later. Oh, December 22nd. Please don't be bad. Please don't be bad. Please don't be bad. Oh, man.
Oh, please don't be bad. I definitely will echo that sentiment right now. I think JP, Sebastian and I are probably going to challenge everyone out in Mzansi to see who's the biggest fan right now. We're on top of the list. But, the visuals, everything about this looks so intriguing, so excited. What's the release date on this, by the way, JP?
Back to The Matrix.
You were so happy. You didn't even year past the screen. 22nd of December this year. Please wear masks. Please, everyone.
Wow.
Vaccine.
Oh,
wow.
I'll wear 2 masks for this. I'll wear a whole suit just like Kim Kardashian did at the red carpet. It doesn't matter. It's all worth it. And of course, JP Sebastian, I can't thank you enough for coming through. And I think you just made my day. Apart from Springbok Noodles being here right now in the studio, you definitely sharing the cake for making my day absolutely special. Thank you for feeding us with the goods. Everybody just dodging bullets here, man. What an absolute treat. Of course, James Sebastian coming through with the goodness. One of these highlights, I think, and everybody else as well, of course. Again, thank you, JP. Have a beautiful week. I'll see you at the movies. You and I should plan a date for this one, eh? What do you say?
What? I missed all of that. Yes,
I said you and I'm asking you out on a date to go watch a movie, JP.
You and I, fangirling, dating, you, me, and Oscar Isaac, dating all night. Matrix 4, 22nd of December, South Africa.
All right, well, enough of that, of course. See Jamie Lee Domberg just shaking her head at all the hype here. Why are you feeling like that, girl? Let us know.
Not you calling out Kim Kardashian with a whole suit. It is what it is, you know, it is what it is. But listen, I wish I had a little bit of JP Sebastian's just enthusiasm and intelligence when it came to movies, that I could just whip him out in my home and then he would just tell me what the best movies are. But here's the thing, we actually asked that question on social media this morning. What is one thing you wish your home had? And of course, you guys came through with all the comments and all the responses, so let's take a look at it. We have Sibungele Jabulile saying, Expresso show, I only need a blender so that I can do first food for my child rather than buying fresh food, I'm assuming. For my child, rather than buying anything in store, which is true, a blender is something you must have in your house. Sibuda, the vocalist, says, I would like to have a full set of a studio equipment and a flat screen TV. Come through, yes, that will be great too, as an addition in your home. And then another top fan of ours, Aweda Sali, says, I need one of those machines you put all the ingredients in and it comes out ready to be baked. I would so much love to learn to bake. That would definitely be a dream for all of us, Obeda. And then we have Sally Ann West Graham saying, I'm content with what I have. I eliminated so many items and things, simple and smart. I'd say more laughter. Well, hopefully you can get some laughter here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And then also another top fan of ours, Joan Cameron, says, an air fryer and a blender for great summer smoothies. Joan, I am with you. I am still rallying up everybody to buy me an air fryer. Hopefully soon, though. It is my birthday coming up, so let me know. But do let us know more of things you want in your home on Expresso Morning Show on S3.
I know what my home needs. A drinks trolley. Oh, it sounds amazing. So let's do a little bit of a history lesson here. So the drinks trolley first made its appearance back in the prim and proper Victorian era of the late 1800s. Back then it was known as a tea trolley, which would be wheeled out to serve the lady of the house with a cup of Earl Grey tea, most likely. Then after the 1970s, the drinks trolley kind of lost its mark, disappeared for a little while. Fast forward to the 21st century, and it's back in fashion with a range of modern designs to suit any home. Chef Clem is here to tell us a little bit more
more about the rebirth of the drinks trolley because it's inevitable, Mr. Anderson.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Still got goosebumps.
I'm so excited about the return of the Matrix. I can't tell you. Almost excited
as the return of the bar.
The drinks trolley, because I dig this. There is something, we love retro style at the moment, and Woolies have nailed. But what's your take on the drinks trolley? Because this is a really cool addition to a living space.
It's quite weird how it happened. I mean, COVID started last year in March, and when it came to June, July, I started seeing drinks trolleys coming back in fashion, and it made sense. The bars are closed. So just
let's take it home, baby.
But drinks trolley is literally, since last year, I've come back and people are just obsessed with them. And I think it's not just because it's a drinks trolley, because it becomes a feature in your home, as you can see.
Retro style, accents of retro style. The mix of modern and old are perfect. Have you seen where you are right now? You're sitting on a beach. Presumably in the Maldives or something.
And I am going to treat you to a drink. But the thing, okay, drinks trolleys, they've changed a lot as well. I mean, you get such beautiful, glamorous drinks trolleys, but then you get the box standard ones that are just the main purpose is wheel in, serve tea, gone. This is beautiful.
That's a statement.
It's black powder coated with the glass shelving. It also comes in gold. Okay, how fancy is that? And the fact that it's on the wheels, it means that it then becomes a feature. Now, we can put it somewhere where, like, as you enter a room, you see that first. But then, when it's time to serve a drink, poolside, it's got the wheels, so you get to move it out. It's beauty and its function, which is absolutely amazing.
Then you've got to back it up and you've got to have a whole little setup to go with it, yeah?
Absolutely. So at home, at the bottom, I've got all my cocktail books, recipe books at the bottom. You know, got to go with a theme. And then I've got my drinks at the bottom. And at the top, I've got a few bottles of wine. And then you have to have a bar set, okay? All the essential little items that you need to prepare any drink. Get your Tom Cruise on, okay? It's got to have that there. Ice buckets. Don't just grab ice, holding in your hand out the freezer. No, no, no. We're from Woolies. Get a beautiful ice bucket.
I like that brushed silver.
They double lined as well, so it stays chilled for hours, okay? That's what you need. Then, like I said, we've got the glass shelving, which is beautiful on its own, but you can layer up and just make it even more. So we've got the beautiful mirror tray over here, and the sustainable wood boards, which I line in there as well. Again, it's not just beautiful, it has a purpose.
And that's another mix that's working really well when you've got those kind of clean metal lines mixed with something that's a bit more earthed. I love that. I love the introduction of the leafy greens as well. That's perfect. Beautiful,
the leafy greens is the thing, because it kind of cuts through everything that's glass, metallic, and the mirror.
It earths it, man. Okay. Beautiful.
Always have a few selection of glasses ready. So I've got a white wine glass, and I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes I'll just use that for red wine if I need to, no problem. Whatever you need, not precious about it. And then I've got the gin glass as well. And again, I just mix those out, absolutely. Then I've got my highball glass, which is my do-all glass that I actually mix drinks in.
Yeah.
If you want to get the little shake on top, you can shake it in this, or you can stir in this. This is the do-all glass. So this needs to live on your drinks trolley.
So, Maestro, are you going to make me a drink, buddy?
So, honey is the theme for the day, right?
Thanks, love.
So let's make something. So I've got some just warm water going in. The drink we're making is called the bee's knees.
Oh, because you are the bee's
knees. No, you are the bee's knees. No,
you are.
Okay. Just warm water going in there, and I've got some seasonal local honey. This is honey that's been farmed, like, literally just over across the road.
100% pure. 100% pure.
Honey goes in, and the reason we added water that is just warm, because now...
Just to help dilute.
We're going to give it a little mix. Just to dilute the honey into the water. And you want to do
I suppose
this...
with it being a little bit warm just helps to break down the sugars. Cool.
And you want to do this before you add your ice. Obviously, once you add the ice, you're going to thicken that honey. It's not going to mix in properly. Then, ice bucket. Oh, I feel so fancy when
It really is, Zhuzh. It's beautiful.
Like, okay, you got the setting. I mean, you could have a couple of hula.
Yeah.
Like Ryle. You know, he's always on the beach. Okay, there we go.
He's going to come. He's going to come and hula
for us in a moment. Ryle, you're going to do a little hula dance for us?
Please, we need a little hula here.
Okay, so here comes Ryle.
Did somebody ask for a
hula, 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 hula?
That's my hula song.
That's your hula? Okay. Okay. So I'm selecting some ice. What I'm doing is I'm taking a few big pieces and a few small pieces of ice.
Okay.
Very important. I'll tell you why in a bit. Lay it back on, and that goes back at your trolley.
Back onto your drinks tray.
Yeah, and then my little ice picker. Fingers. No, don't put your fingers in the ice. No, absolutely.
Beautiful. And it's another styling element coming from your little kit there. I love that.
So what you do is you're going to stir it. And the reason I've used small pieces of ice and big pieces of ice, the smaller pieces are going to start dissolving.
Okay.
And then the bigger pieces will still remain there to chill your drink. And you want to do this about a minute. I know it sounds tedious, and you could shake it, but here's the thing. You know James Bond likes to drink shaken, not stirred. You
Stir that, baby.
You want to stir it. The reason you don't want to shake it is because when you shake it, you aerate it. You can end up with a cloudy drink. So we don't want that.
That's not the vibe. Yeah, we want layers. So you're going for centrifugal force.
You're going to start noticing that the glass is going to start frosting on the outside. That's when you know that you're good.
That you got it right. Okay.
So we look.
This is mixology going down here, buddy. Hey.
You thought I only did drinks.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Little lemon juice goes in, and that's going to cut through that sweetness, but also elevates the flavor of the honey. Right. I'm going to serve this to you. Do you want the gin glass? Do you want the white wine glass? Say gin.
Gin glass. I really want the gin glass.
Okay. So.
And again, that's also got a bit of a throwback retro styling to it. I love the fact that we've got these kind of elements of retro style creeping in, and then you've got that.
Right.
Wow.
So we've spoken about this. This is a non-alcoholic spirit. It is so perfumed, so beautiful, so delicious. We're going to go for a double shot. And I can give you a double shot because it's non-alcoholic.
It's non-alcoholic.
I'll give you a quadruple shot.
At 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll take a double.
There we go. That goes in.
Can't wait. I've never tasted this before.
Have you not?
No.
It's delicious. It is so good. Okay. Back onto the trolley. And also, a beautiful bottle should always just be stationary on your trolley.
For sure. Those carafes with the wooden ball stoppers. Those are beautiful.
Love them. Absolutely. Okay. Any little bits of ice that have diluted, but not all the way. You don't want anything in this drink. You want it nice and smooth.
Okay.
So you put the strainer on the top.
Aha.
Okay. And you pour quickly.
This is great. So people who have bought these kits are getting a full lesson in exactly how to. Wow.
Absolutely. So now keep in mind, right, if this was using gin, we poured a double shot of gin, you don't want to have this all the way to the top. You can dilute it with like sparkling water, you know, but the flavors are intense right now. So you don't want to fill it all the way up to the top. That's beautiful. You could do a slice of lemon. Just give it this little twist.
Bit of a twist to release.
Got to do that just to season the rim of it. Just drop it in. Gee, the bee's knees.
Oh, you are the bee's knees. Oh, that's punching, eh?
It is. No ice. You want to serve this smooth, just as it is.
Wow.
That's it. That's it. If you don't do that little puckering thing, it's not right. You've got to get it. Wow. Now look at you with your formula. Oh.
Wow, that is refreshing, and it's ice. I understand why you've got to give it a good go. Work it through the ice. That is beautifully. It's chilled. You've just taken me to that beach, dude. I'm there. Got to get yourself a big man to mix you one of these in the morning. Absolutely beautiful. It's a throwback, but it's also thoroughly modern, the perfect balance, and I think the perfect addition to any home. Beautiful, man.
I can smell that from here.
Simple as CBD should be.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I want you to see the hairs on my arms.
That's legit. That's legit.
Standing up, and that's just from a sound check. You don't understand. The Springbok Nude Girls are here. They're giving us a taste of some new music, possibly their best album to date, which is saying a lot. Look at those beautiful faces. Look at them, man.
Those faces.
They are here to perform just for you in just a moment.
In just a moment, of course, but before we get into all that magic, let's first find out what's happening in the news with Jamie Lee Dumberg.
Thank you so much, boys. 2 minutes before 8 o'clock, time to have a final look at those news headlines, starting with your national news. South Africa and a host of other countries could soon be taken off the UK's travel red list. This according to UK media outlets. Appearing on the red list is an effective travel ban for the countries listed and adding further pain to travellers upon entry into the UK. They have to quarantine in government-managed hotels at their own expense. Meanwhile, more than 60 of South Africa's largest business concerns have started a campaign to lobby the UK government to have the country's red list status revoked. And then a recent survey has shown that more than 50% of South Africans do not have a last will and testament. With this week being National Wills Week, a prominent insurance company has said that between COVID-19, various climate disasters and social unrest, they had found that 84% of respondents had become more aware of their own mortality. However, despite this, many still do not have a last will. The study found that 46% of women indicated they had wills in comparison to 54% of men. And then on the international front, the latest batch of vaccines delivered to South Sudan via the COVAX initiative is the country's largest yet. It received more than 150,000 Johnson & Johnson's single-dose jabs yesterday, donated by the US. They will be administered in areas outside of the capital Juba. With a population of 11 million, South Sudan is still a long way off the World Health Organization's target to have 40% of all African populations vaccinated by the end of 2021. The US has pledged more doses of Johnson & Johnson for South Sudan as well. And then aircraft manufacturer Boeing says it expects that it will take another 2.5 years for global aviation to return to pre-pandemic levels. Its Vice President of Commercial Marketing, Darren Hulse, said long-haul international routes would take the longest to recover, partly because of government restrictions. Last year was the worst year on record, with passenger numbers falling by 60% to 1.8 billion and the industry losing $126 billion. Boeing also says that the strength of the global economy is key to recovering from the slump. And then finally, the newlyweds who set up a sanctuary for chimps, Bala Amarasekaran and his wife Shamila, spotted the baby chimpanzee tied to a tree in a village in a rural part of Sierra Leone. It was for sale. They immediately bought the tiny animal and pledged to care for him. Little did newlyweds Bala and Shamila know that this chance encounter would change their lives forever. 3 decades later, they run a sanctuary devoted to saving this critically endangered subspecies known as the Western chimpanzee. Amarasekaran says, "We had this affection seeing this baby chimp and we thought, okay, we'd bring him home and nurse him. Once the wee chimp entered their lives, their love for him grew. Soon they rescued another, and not long afterwards, yet another, until they had 7 or 8 chimps in their house, and that is what drove them." Amarasekaran quit his job as an accountant to care for them, and the Takugama Chimpanzee Sanctuary the couple set up in a rainforest in Sierra Leone is presently home to some 100 Western chimpanzees. Such a cute moment. On that note, that is where I wrap your 8 o'clock news headlines. G is standing by with a final look at the sports.
Thanks so much, Jamie. Let's start our sports bulletin with news that I think we've been expecting for a while now. In cricket, batter Lazelle Lee has moved to the top of the ICC batting rankings. That was following a brilliant run of form in the ODI series against the West Indies. So Lee has scored 187 runs in 3 matches, including her unbeaten 78 in that third ODI, as the Proteas took an unassailable 3-0 lead in their 5-match series. The 8 wickets in Monday's game also ensuring that South Africa claimed their first ever series victory against the Windies. Then staying with cricket on the men's draw, South Africa wrapped up their tour of Sri Lanka with a massive 10-wicket win In the third and final T20, the hosts won the toss and chose to bat first, but were restricted to just 120 for 8 in a brilliant bowling performance. Bjorn Fortuin and Kagiso Rabada both taking 2 wickets for South Africa. In response, openers Quinton de Kock and Reza Hendricks needed no help. They were dominant with the bat, scoring 59 and 56 respectively to see us over the line. Then on to football. For some, a bit of a shock. Man United began their Champions League campaign with a 2-1 loss against the Young Boys. So Cristiano Ronaldo continued his goal-scoring form back at his old club, and he put United ahead before Aaron Wan-Bissaka was sent off. The Swiss side then used the advantage. They equalised after 66 minutes before scoring the winner ultimately in added time. Then tonight we have the tournament's record winners, Real Madrid, kicking off their campaign against the Italian champions Inter Milan. The sides met in the group stages of last season's competition as well, with Madrid winning home and away. Then we've got Lionel Messi also set to make his first appearance for PSG in the Champions League as the French Giants take on Club Brugge. And then Liverpool will play AC Milan, with the two sides meeting for the first time outside of a final. In fact, so the teams both in the 2005 and 2007 finals, with the Reds winning that historic match in Istanbul before Milan got the upper hand 2 years later. So certainly a lot of pride on the line tonight. And then on to some news coming out of the Springbok camp. Not the best, unfortunately, as Springbok lock Nicholas Janse van Rensburg is set to miss the remainder of the Rugby Championship after being forced to withdraw from the squad due to personal reasons. The 27-year-old, who made a Springbok debut against Argentina in Nelson Mandela Bay, was one of 5 specialist locks in the touring squad, the others being Lut de Jager, Eben Etzebeth, Franco Mostert and Marvin Orie. A lot of focus on the set piece in the squad, clearly. The Boks will play Australia on Saturday, looking to bounce back from last weekend's frustrating, narrow 28-26 loss. And that's where we leave our sporting headlines for this Wednesday morning. Let's get one last take on the weather and some of those temperatures here in SA.
Thank you so much, G. Now, to look at the weather, we're starting off with some alarming facts around the globe, where a number of scorching hot days each year when the temperatures reach 50 degrees Celsius has doubled since the 1980s, and global BBC analysts have found more than just that. They also now happen in more areas of the world than before, presenting unprecedented challenges to human health and to also how to live. Now, the total number of days above 50 degrees Celsius has increased in each decade since 1980. Now, on average, between 1980 and 2009, temperatures passed 50 degrees Celsius some 14 days a year. That number, however, rose to 26 days a year between 2010 and 2019. Now, in the same period, temperatures of 45 degrees Celsius and higher occurred on average an extra fortnight a year. Now, the increase can be 100% attributed to the burning of fossil fuels, and this was said by Dr. Friedrich Otto, the Associate Director of the Environmental Change Institute at England's Oxford University. Now, this is definitely some stats that we can all take into consideration when thinking about the way we contribute to our environment, and we can all make a difference together in reducing our carbon footprint. But now, despite the rising temperatures around the world, our sunrise views have luckily not changed, which means we have some absolutely beautiful landscapes to share with you as always. Now, starting off with Lindsay du Plessis from Ventersburg, Free State, she shared this absolutely gorgeous shot of the sun glowing as it begins to rise over the hills in the distance. Wow. Now, we caught up with the 5FM team as well a little earlier, and we have to say a massive thank you to Nadia Romanos, who is still a part of the team, for sharing the stunning silhouetted shot with us of Cape Town as the new day begins. What a beauty. Now, Nancy Governor also came through from Pennington and captured this picturesque shot showing the sun rising over the ocean. What a gorgeous view to start your day with. And last but not least, William Jumat from Sakis Bay, or Sakis Bay, shared this photo overlooking the bay as the sun rises, changing the sky from beautiful hues of orange all the way through to blue. A massive smile on my face, of course, because we absolutely love seeing your side of the world, how you wake up and you sharing your sunrise pictures with us. So keep them coming through and keep putting a smile on myself and the rest of Mzansi's face. But now, to take a look at the rest of the weather one last time for the day, starting off in Polokwane, your low of 15 for the day and moving up to 32 degrees Celsius. Mbombela starts the day on 13 and moving up to 34 degrees. Pretoria, you start your day on 14, moving up to 31 degrees Celsius. And then in Johannesburg, your morning will start on 13 degrees and moving up to a high of 28 degrees Celsius. Mahikeng, sunny skies all the way around with a low of 10 and a high of 32. And Klerksdorp, very similar, sunny skies with a 32-degree maximum, starting off with a low of 9 degrees. And then in Kimberley, you'll start your day on 5, moving up to 24 degrees Celsius for the day. And Bloemfontein, very similar with a low of 2 and a high of 25 degrees. Sunny skies expected all the way around. And then Richards Bay starts the day on 17, moving up to 23 degrees Celsius with 25% cloud cover. And then Pietermaritzburg, very similar with a similar amount of cloud cover. 12 is your low for the day, moving up to 23 degrees Celsius. And then in Durban, you start your day on 17, moving up to 24, but you can expect 56% chance of rain coming through, and much the same from Tata with 65% chance of rain, a low of 8 and a high of 19 degrees Celsius for the day. And then in London, you'll start your day on 11 with a high of 17 with 61% chance of rain. And then moving over to Craddock, where your day starts on 5, moving up to 16 degrees Celsius with 25% cloud cover. And then in Oberga, your day starts on 10, moving up to 17 degrees and 57% chance of rain coming through. And then moving over to Georgia, your low of 8 and a high of 15 degrees Celsius with 25% cloud cover in the skies. And much the same for Cape Town with 25% cloud cover, a low of 10 and a high of 16 degrees. And then moving up to Worcester, your low of the day is at 4 degrees, moving up to 16 degrees Celsius with predominantly sunny skies all the way around. Sutherland, very similar with a low of 2 and a high of 13 with sunny skies expected for the day. And last but not least, Uppington starts the day on 6, moving up to a high of 20 degrees with sunny skies expected for the rest of the day. Now, Mzansi, once again, I have to thank you so much for sending in those beautiful pictures of you starting off your day. And that's a wrap up of the weather for the rest of it. I hope you enjoy the beauty that is blessed upon you and, of course, the rest of this show.
Thank you so much. We're going to reward you for your beautiful photos with another beautiful performance. The Nude Girls are here. Party Apocalypse is releasing officially. It's being launched on the 2nd of October. I know you guys have got a little lineup planned for the launch event. Tell us about it. What can we expect from the launch event?
Well, we are obviously, we're busy rehearsing. We started rehearsing last night. We're doing a lot of the songs, most of the album, the new album, with some classic Nude Girl songs.
You have to.
Yes, and it's all about just a preparation now for the big show.
Ethel Ether also on the lineup. Look at that, man. That's awesome.
Smart painting.
Hey? Is it yours?
No, that's Arno. Arno painted that.
Is that you?
That actually painted that on this Christmas.
Naturally.
You know, it's a little bit like a Christmas tree, isn't it? It's a bit more frightening.
Yo, let it all out, eh? I love that. I know Ethel Ether also on the lineup, but the most important thing, guys, that you have to take note of is this album is, all of these tracks are available for download on streaming platforms right now. Get them into your head so that you can sing along and see these guys perform live, but they are performing for you right now. Another special one, expect the hairs on your arms to rise. This is a future classic, undoubtedly. It is the Springbok Nude Girls with Crystal Ball. Take it away, gents.
Classified as a mighty mind, surefire as I decline. All the undertones of a flexible world I should have known when you became gatekeeper to your kingdom, or gardener to your life. Oh, I pick the fruits and I prune the flowers in the morning light, and underneath is a golden mine and crystal ball, mistaking my goodwill for kindness and crystal ball, mistaking your goodwill for kindness. Oh, wall skew golden dew, always coursing through your veins. Oh, waterfall of liquor, my darling, there's a switchblade to your face. I can see she's disappointed in so many ways. I can see the madness in her eyes I despise. Oh, she's a coward and she falls to pieces. Just remember now that she's a she, Jesus. And crystal ball, mistaking my goodwill for kindness. Crystal ball, mistaking your goodwill for kindness. And crystal ball, I guess you overstayed your welcome. And crystal ball, mistaking my goodwill for kindness. She's a fool, she's a giver, she respects the abuse, and it's true, I've been mistaken myself, my whole life, on the run, as darkness comes, I hope to a new life we roll. Crystal ball, mistaken my goodwill for kindness, and crystal ball, mistaken my goodwill for kindness. The future calls. You better stop working in silence. And crystal ball, missing my mood will for kindness. Hey!
Come on! Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. You create the soundtrack for our lives. You don't understand. And I know we have the advantage of having you guys perform here. It feels like kind of so often, but it's the honor is not lost on me at all. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much. Thank
That
you
is
so much.
beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Crystal Ball available for download right now. Party Apocalypse is it's starting to sound like maybe their best album to date, which is saying a lot. The Springbok Nude Girls are sticking around for one more performance. Don't move a muscle.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's time to talk about money, 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 money. But money can't always buy us happiness, but it sure can buy us nice things, and we love nice things. And today,
Nice things make me happy, so money can buy you happiness. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it.
No one's ever been sad in a Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the truth. And today we are taking a look at the long-term implications of our financial decisions when we give into our desires in another round of Would You Rather. So, boys, I love asking you guys these questions because I know you guys always come through with honest answers.
Yeah.
Today's question is, in your opinion, which is worse financially speaking? Is it A?
Worse. Okay.
Worse. Is it A, buying an expensive car? Like I said, you can't cry at a Ferrari, don't. But, or is it B, taking out debt to go on an amazing holiday? You need it, you've worked so hard. But of course,
Well, it's weird because I kind of feel like now, every time we have this conversation, because of the last year and a half, everything has been turned upside down. So how we see money, how we see a holiday, how we see a car and debt and financial planning, all of these things have changed so radically. Our goals have definitely changed. For me, a holiday now would mean reconnecting, so being able to go with Lynn's overseas to see her family who we haven't seen in 2 years. So that, for me, is worth it. It's worth more than anything in the world. For me, a new ride is something that I'm quite focused on right now, you know, because that's something that I want for myself and something that I need for my family as well. It's a very difficult one, but I have to say in my hierarchy of needs, probably, I would be willing to get into a little bit of debt for a holiday right now because that emotional cost has been something that we're not willing to bear any longer. We need to reconnect with our family and see each other, and I'm willing to do that. Yeah.
Also to think of it, you know, 5 years for paying off this expensive car, or that instant connection with your family when you're going on that vacation. So kind of with you on this one. What about you, Mr. Nature Boy?
I can't disagree with you, G. I think right now memory making is at the top of everybody's list. When it comes to just real engagement, I think our love languages has changed as well. But maybe I can throw this out at the table. What if I bought a new vehicle that could take me on a holiday? You didn't see that coming. I'm thinking like a van life type of style. Best of both.
Just road trip.
Of course you are.
Back to Tsitsikamma.
Hey, now, yeah.
Swans River Mouth. And,
Go to Namibia.
I'm feeling you. Okay.
There you go. There's your answer.
You were smart with that one. I see what you did there right now. But of course, we want to see what everyone is saying online. So let's take a look at that. We have Nicolette Wenzel saying, if you have money for the expensive car, great. If you have to go into debt for it, then both is bad. Why go into a lot of debt when you can just wait a little and save up to be able to live without of the constant stress of debt put on people? So yeah,
look, debt is actually a real thing that can weigh on your emotion. Yeah. That's real. It literally changes people's moods, the way they live their life. It's completely different. It's a burden.
Well, I suppose it's the idea of good and bad debt, and maybe sometimes a car isn't necessarily the worst kind of debt if you can manage your monthly
That's exactly. It's about managing. Even
the budget.
Yeah, even with a vacation, if you can manage to pay it back in a certain amount of time, put a bit of a budget in place, then you could be able to do it.
Definitely agree. Now, Ntoleng Naledi says both are not so great, but between the two, going out on a holiday seems pretty ill-advised. It's best taking a debt for a tangible thing that might be in turn able to be sold at a later stage. Okay, I like
So you can get it. I mean, it will obviously lose value, but it's something that you can trade in. You can get something back for it. But she's on the same,
because potentially with some people, a vehicle can allow you to possibly bring in some income, get you to work, create some opportunities. Nice thinking there. And then we've got Rukeya, I think it's Rukeya Shabodin. Both, you don't need an expensive car. You need something to get you from A to B. You also don't need to take out a loan to go on holiday. Rather save up for it. Wow, we've got like financial advisors coming through.
Yeah, boo to you guys. You're all thinking too clearly, man.
We're taking our advice very serious every week. We get you.
I'm impressed. I'm very proud of you, Mzansi, coming through with some mature responses over here. Anthea Kruger also says, I'd say A and B. The reason being in my...
A and B,
okay. In my opinion, maybe it's a bit mine. I can't afford both, and if I could afford it, I wouldn't make debt like that either such a waste of money. I'll take my riches and help the poor instead. Was always my dream to help homeless people. Wow!
Come on, now you've just destroyed our whole rationale for life. Coming in here with the philanthropy. That is beautiful. That's a good message. And I think actually a lot of people have started to think like that over the last year and a half. A lot of people wanting to put back into their communities, do something to help the people around them. So we're down with that. Yes. Beautiful. I don't know. I'm still down with the holiday. I think that's my choice.
Yeah, for sure. But sometimes it can be challenging to keep sight of your long-term goals, especially when you're tempted with all the luxuries life has to offer. Now, if you're looking to make any big or small financial decisions in the near future and need assistance putting in savings plans, and reach out to the Nedbank team and let them guide you. A little expert advice can go a long way. And of course, you can find them online at nedbank.co.za.
Indulge your desires. Be swept away by the fragrance of descent. Take the plunge into impulsive spending until you find yourself deeper and deeper, drowning in debt. In this world of temptation, do you want a bank that takes your money? Or a bank that takes your money seriously?
All right, so now we may be undecided on what to do with our money, but one thing we know for sure is to whip up a cup for an afternoon treat with this next recipe. Check this out.
There is a classic mayonnaise that brings out the traditional French in 3 levels of tanginess. The mild classic, the medium classic, the strong classic. Tangy, the way you love it.
Made with love by Clover.
Ooh, it is time to get back into the kitchen. Like I said, we don't need money for this. It is the perfect time to get over that midweek slump with a sweet treat. Now, our cremal honey and nut cake is a great treat to go with that tea time cuppa to stir up and cheer up with a cremal for when you need it, because not only is cremal the only creamer with real milk powder for a creamier taste, it's also so versatile to use in various dishes, as we are about to show you right now with this amazing cake. And Mr. Nature Boy is going to be baking the cake.
Yes, of course we are. We've got some awesome ingredients here, so I'm going to take you through it. It's not too complicated. I just hope I can remember all the ingredients. But, of course, our hero ingredient, cremal, is going to make a big part of this. So, starting off with the dry stuff first. We're mixing all the dry ingredients. We've got flour, baking powder, some salt and sugar. So I'll just add all of this in. But, of course, on top of this, just to get that extra goodness, we're going to add 2 cups of the cremal. So if you can open that up for me.
Certainly can do so.
And pop it into the dry ingredient mix right now. Thank you very much. Let me just pop that in there.
And again, I like the versatility. I remember a couple of weeks ago we were making sausage rolls with the cremal.
Yes.
You can make lasagna sheets with it. You can do everything. So it's more than just a coffee and tea creamer. Again, it can also be used in baking and cooking to bring out the rich and also the creamy taste of many dishes. Simply just mix the Clover cremal with a dash of water to add that creamy texture to your dishes. Or if you want to, you can add it to your cake batter for a bit of moist crumbs. But again, it's such a versatile ingredient to have. I'm going to pop this back in here.
It really is. One thing for me that I've been very impressed by is how many different recipes you can add cremal to and what it actually does to it as well. And this is definitely one of them. So I've mixed all my dry ingredients in here. Of course, the cremal has also been added to this, so we know it's going to come alive. But now we're going to add the wet ingredients. So the thing that I like to do is almost like create a little bit of a, I think you call it a wall. It's almost like making cement, right? So you just separate the center there just so that we can get all the wet ingredients to get involved.
You have come a long way. Nature Boy.
It's Chef Clem. I'm telling you, Chef Clem.
Really?
I just absorb everything about
These
him.
culinary hotline
He's been
sessions have been helping you. I remember the days when you couldn't even make a pancake. Look at you.
Make an egg.
Baking an entire cake for me and the rest of Mzansi. We're so proud of you, Mr. Nature Boy. So create your well.
So I made my well. I've just added some plain yogurt to this to start off with. Then we've got 2 eggs going into the mix. As mentioned, we've got honey in. We've got honey going into this one as well. So I've got about just shy of a cup of honey. Oh, look at that good stuff going in there.
Beautiful.
We've got some vanilla essence as well, and then a little bit of oil just to make it all bind together.
Okay, so I like the fact that you set aside your dry ingredients first. That's easy enough, and then start putting
and then we start putting the wet ingredients in after that. Now, once again, we start working out in the kitchen. Do a little bit of a shimmy.
Why must the hips also shake at the same time?
We're moving, we're shaking. This is how we earn these beautiful cakes, of course. Now, this is where the hard stuff comes in because you really want to mix this up. And maybe while I'm busy with this, Jamie, you can start working on that final recipe ingredient. And that's going to be that icing sugar on top of it all.
Exactly. So this is going to be the glaze, the beautiful glaze over the cake. So we have some icing sugar here. We have about 2 tablespoons of milk. And then we're going to go back into our cremal box because we again want more flavor, more of that creamy texture for our glaze. And you're just going to pop that into your glaze. How are you doing there, Mr. Nature Boy?
I'm doing good. Oh, I did so good that I actually broke.
Wow.
I got too excited.
I was hyping you up too early. Just when I said you were...
You spoke too soon. Don't worry.
It's all the muscles.
This is like a culinary tip right here. You don't need
What is the tip?
You can just get a handle on your own life and just whisk away. Simple as that.
That's exactly how the recipe goes. You just break the handle. It's part of it. This is part of the creative process.
Yes.
If you didn't know, this is how you have to do it. This is how you have to bake the cake. You have to break the handle and then just do what Nature Boy did.
You're breaking new ground in the kitchen here. Okay. So I'm done with combining the wet and the dry ingredients. Now I've got myself a greased, and I keep thinking this is just like your average baking tray, but it's not.
Why is it not?
Bread tin, I think. I think that's what it's called. What is it? What is it? Is it a loaf? It's something. I don't know what it is. But whatever this is, I'm going to call it a baking tray.
We're going to go with it.
Bread. What you're going to do is add your wet mix into this right now, okay? So check this out. Look at that consistency as well. Oh, yes. Very, very nice.
And how long would you pop this into the oven for?
This will go into the oven for 30 to 40 minutes at I think 180 degrees Celsius. Right, so once we've got it all in there, make sure that you offer up the rest of the bowl to one of the kids because they're going to absolutely love this.
Because we're encouraging messy play, creative play.
Simple as that. You pop this in.
But wait. I'm just asking for a friend.
Oh, yes. One more ingredient, of course, because it's not just honey. We got some nuts to this as well.
That's why you need me.
That's why you need me. I haven't passed culinary school just yet. Last but not least, you can add this to your mixture as well. So any nuts of your choice. Walnuts are our preferred one, but you can use whatever you have in your pantry, or it doesn't matter where. Now, you can pop it in the oven.
You can pop it
for
in.
safety, and then you simply put on your icing right to the end, and then voila.
Don't you ever call it icing, it's a glaze. I made a glaze. Okay, listen, we want to hear from you. Tell us on the socials how you use cremel to stir up and cheer up, and we would possibly be sending you a hamper so you can stir up and cheer up even more. But of course, if you missed out on all these steps, I know you're making yourself a young cuppa over there because you deserved it after making this beautiful cake.
By the way, adding my creamer to this as well. The cremel just goes in perfectly with the tea. No milk needed.
Bring it here.
You want this?
Here is a quick recap just for you. Thank you so much, sir.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
Live the latest interior design as the Parks Lifestyle Apartments in Riversands host this year's Home Deco Expo. With 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments fully decorated by 10 top interior deco talents, you can buy complete looks, individual pieces or copy signature designs. And with entrance free on open day, get to the Parks Lifestyle Apartments just off William Nicol in Fourways for Home Deco Expo, 18th to 19th September and the 24th to the 26th of September.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
let us talk about your home, because really selecting an exterior color for your home is no easy task, and it's something you want to be 100% sure of before you start painting. Our design guru, my best friend, Dylan Thomas, is back on the couch to talk us through how to select the right exterior color for your home. And I know what you're going to say. He's my best friend.
I was about to say, when did we do the friend swap here?
Last week.
So
we have years on us.
Yeah, we have years on us. Come on.
But you're fabulous.
Like, you're here. It's a triangle of sorts.
Totally.
Let's talk about painting. Yes,
sure.
You bring all the color to our lives, but when it comes to painting and selecting exterior paint color for our homes, that's a whole different consideration altogether.
It really is, especially where you live, right? So I live in Burkop, so for me, I need a bold color because that's very traditional, right? And choosing a color that's timeless and sophisticated is also really important to fit in within the community. But when you're choosing a paint color for your home, again, it goes like, what would make you happy when you arrive home every day to see that? You know, like you want it to feel timeless because you also want to live in a space that you feel proud of, right?
Yeah.
So going too bold, I wouldn't recommend. I would stay very neutral and do a bit of a contrast with it. My ultimate favorite is a white house with black window frames and black doors because it's timeless. Yeah, exactly, right?
Really?
And beautiful greenery. It just stands the test of time.
Yeah.
But if you want color, I would just go for a neutral color.
Okay. Is it weird that I'm actually obsessed with black houses at the moment? Everything black, like matte black with brown finishing. But obviously that is not trending at the moment. And that's why you're here to tell us what are the color trends for the season or just that we can expect to see.
Yeah. Just say I love black houses as well. It really is. We're doing a beach house in Scarborough, and that's going to be pretty epic in black, right? Exactly, right?
Wow.
Can I come shoot there?
But I do think, you know, from a trend point of view, a lot of jewel tones are coming through, which I think is really lovely, and those are also really timeless. There's a really great palette that you can choose from, especially with Plascon's range. And I think at the end of the day, again, it really needs to evoke an emotion within you to be, you know, to love that because you're coming home to it every single day.
The thing is, there's more to paint than just paint, than just color. Quality is very important in paint.
Right.
Why?
Because you don't want to redo it that often, right? And the cost behind it, so people always think that it costs a lot up front, because it really does, because it can get really pricey, but rather spend the extra cash and just make sure you've done a proper job. And, you know, you choosing a good quality paint, you have guarantees and warranties and all those wonderful things that go with it. So do it properly. But what's also really important is to make sure you do the prep work first properly as well. So don't just go and paint an existing wall, treat the wall first, make sure it's ready to be painted so that the paint really does last longer.
The quality of the paint actually does come to life. The durability sticks. Love that.
There's nothing like taking a picture in your front room and then seeing that there's a spot that you missed right there
Isn't
because
it the
paint
worst?
is peeling. It's the worst. But if I was your client, how do you go about selecting that final color for the process?
It's a really good question because I think that's where where there's a lot of push and pull. At the end of the day, I always feel that when your base is beautiful and neutral, so just like a neutral base, which would be a cream or a grey or white or black, I feel like those colours really stand the test of time. And no matter what you put into your home or what you surround your home with from a gardening point of view, it will always complement. So I'm a really big fan of neutrality. I just think it becomes a lot more timeless. But also consider where you live. Like, I can't do that where I live because it would just be an eyesore.
I dare you imagine he actually changed his color of his house in Burkop to black. Can you imagine?
No, there'd be riots and protests outside his house.
So much fun.
Let's talk about the different types of exterior paints that are available out there.
Right. So again, you want to get the most durable paints. So you want like a wall-and-all type of finish, which has... So some paints have like a bit of a granule in it, which is a lot better from durability, so it's easier to wash. And also the dust and dirt doesn't stick to it, which is really lovely. But again, just going for a really strong paint is the right way to do it.
You'll thank yourself.
100%.
We are thanking you, Dylan Thomas. As always, so good to have you, my best friend.
Jane.
So much fun.
Listen, if you have a new painting project or looking to do a home makeover like me or Uncle Tabsy, Plascon is here to give your home the look you've always dreamed of. Together, you know what? We've got this.
Thank you so much, team. Now, from chatting about revamping our exterior paint colors to sprucing it up in the bedroom, can we just agree that it's time to pack away those heavier linens and the duvets for another season, please? Spring has officially sprung, and with it, cooler fabrics, lighter prints, more florals, maybe an introduction of a bit more earthy tone, a chance for a bedroom and a bedding refresh we needed in our lives. Editor-in-Chief of Modern Living, Danielle Weekly, joins us in the studio to take us through the latest in the bedroom. Clearly, the outside is coming inside, which we like. We want to lighten the mood. It is a new season. I know how you love talking about bedding. You're one of them freaks.
I know,
who loves
I know. It does sound a little bit freaky, probably
so
not in a
what
good
are the
way.
latest trends that have got you excited?
Okay, so now I'm going to start with the really, what you would consider the boring bits for the boudoir, which is the fact that the togs are getting lower. So
Okay.
you can swap out your winter duvets. The way you know a winter from a summer duvet is the number of the togs. So a 5 tog is a good weight for summer. Those are great. This is a microfiber, beautiful luxury duvet.
Light, breathable, beautiful.
Exactly. Sustainable fabrics, goodies inside the pillows, so also makes it very much lighter, cooler, good for your internal body thermostat. So I think that's a good place to start with the basics, and then you move on to the fun stuff.
And then you can have a little bit of fun, and boy, can you have some fun. And I love the fact that we are bringing the element of green in. Talk me through the linens that we can inject. How do we make our bedroom lighter?
You want to
for the
make them
new
look like
season?
this?
Yeah.
So I think the great thing about this season and what's coming through in bedding is the fact that there's a lot of stars and stripes. I've got the Met Gala on my brain.
Don't worry, everyone's got the Met Gala on. The Megan Fox girl.
Stripes
Come
and
on.
checks coming through in the patterning, but beautiful greens, which is bringing the outdoors in. Lots of Mediterranean blues and yellows, which kind of nod towards that aquatic feeling. There's some really beautiful corals, which maybe sometimes feels like it's a little bit too crazy to have a full bedroom in, but they're amazing as like a pop of bless you colour.
It's spring. It's the new, all the
You're very on
florals we're
brand for the
introducing.
moment, exactly. Corals bring in a beautiful pop of colour with all of those patterns and things. They work with everything, and I think that's what's really nice about the bedding at the moment, is that you can mix and match it with basics that you've got and things that you can pull in for right now.
I like the natural prints as well, but then you've still got your kind of quite stark graphic prints as well. It's really interesting. It's almost like anything goes here, but it's how you blend it all together. So what tips do you have to summerify our space?
I mean, you think I'm a freak about the tog with the duvet, but I'm actually really a freak about scatter cushions and candles.
And Arden was saying it needs more scatter cushions earlier.
You got to bring it all together with something like this, and I think that scatters are a really easy way to update something without spending a lot of money. And they always bring in a slightly bolder print, so you can mix it up without feeling like it's overwhelming. And then for me, a candle, I know I endlessly speak about them, but room scents and candles make such a difference to the feeling of a room. So bringing in like citruses and summery fragrances immediately lifts the lightness and summery feeling of all of it.
Because you're really big on the experiential kind of, because it's not just about what you see, it's about how you feel.
It's creating a feeling.
Completely.
So you've been listening this whole time.
I really have been. No, I'm just thinking about now immediately what I can do with my space, and even just the lighting that you let into your space. Maybe look at your curtains, maybe kind of look at those small ways of bringing the outside in, because ultimately that's what we want, is that lighter feeling.
Especially for spring.
Yeah, I love that. I love the prints. I love the injection of green, the Mediterranean colours. Absolutely beautiful.
Brilliant.
Oh, man.
You're doing it.
It's made me feel sleepy just looking at these fabrics. Absolutely beautiful. There you have it. You can pack away those thick duvets, those winter sheets, all the extra layers of blankets, replace them with something light and airy and fresh. Certainly in the bedding space, we know that the new season is here with a whole bold new array of colours. Now, if you remember, and if you're a member of the rewards family, I'm going to call it, you get up to, get this, 25% off 2 selected duvet inners and pillows as well. But this is a limited offer and it's only available online. So go and find all of those terms and conditions that apply, and a lot more spring inspiration on woolworths.co.za. But you can shop all of this and more at Woolworths in-store, online, or available on the app. Go and check it out. They will inspire you to refresh your bedroom living space.
Join Expresso this spring to stand a chance of winning a 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher weekly as we ask how you colour your life. Is it the cherry red in your ride, maybe the burst of new blues from your garden, or the sunsets and seascapes of a favourite getaway? Well, answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Then colour your life with 4,000 Rand paint vouchers to be won all spring on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yeah, I like that little lingo. Now, of course, we are here to do the things. It's that time of the morning. We will welcome you back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting! I love that part of the morning. And of course, the one and only Clem Chef is here, Chef Clem. And if you have any questions for him, then of course, come through in the kitchen and call us right now. The number is 021-110-552. Any culinary conundrums that you might have, we are here to serve.
And they can also call to ask you questions, because Chef Ryle.
Chef Ryle? Oh, Chef Ryle's about
okay,
to answer.
answer.
All right, can I say Chef Ryle?
Yes, you must.
Hi, this is the Culinary Hotline Bling. Chef Ryle speaking alongside Chef Clem. How may I help you? Hello?
She's shocked.
Sarah?
He's shocked. They shocked.
Hello, hello. All right.
Makola.
I think she's probably driving through a hill under a bridge or something crazy like that. I don't know. But don't worry, don't fret, because there's so many questions that have come through.
Right.
Not only are our lines continually ringing, but Facebook has been popping off with so many questions.
So many
and
questions.
I see we've got all the bits and pieces that we need to answer them. So first up, we actually had Silona Governor, and she wants to know what's the easiest way to devein prawns.
Right, so I like this question.
And firstly, do you have to devein prawns?
You know, it's best. It's good.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that say once you cook the prawn, whatever's in that tract in the back, it's cooked, it's not going to harm you. I'm saying just take it out. Because for me, besides the fact that you don't know what's actually, prawns scurry around on the floor and eat everything, okay? So, number one, just take the vein out because you don't know what they've eaten. And number two, the texture. Sometimes we all know prawn meat is super soft, delicate, silky.
Yeah.
In that tract that they got at the back could be quite gritty, so take it out. This is very, very easy. So let's just start from the beginning. The first thing you want to do is we're using extra large black tiger prawns, okay?
Oh, nice.
And we know this. when it comes to Woolies and seafood, it's sustainability or nothing. So it's sustainable. We know this. It's really
not
amazing.
even an option, actually. And I
It's not an
want
option.
Mzansi to really pay attention to this right now. Fish, especially when it comes to our ocean as well, it's rare, it's scarce. So make sure that when you are purchasing it, do something like what Woolies are doing and purchase it from them, because they are ensuring every step of the process is sustainable. So important right now.
Let me see. Check who's going to zoom in on this one. It actually says there that it is farmed responsibly. We know that. You don't put things in a box if we don't mean it. We're doing seafood today, guys, and the biggest thing we're going to keep on saying is sustainability.
Yes.
Sustainability.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So,
Right. So let's do this. Let's devein these sustainable prawns.
You buy them frozen. Here's what I say. If you want to retain the texture, retain the flavor, don't put it in water. Don't do anything funky with it. Take it out and let it thaw out on its own. Okay. Then what you do, when you get it to this texture and it's thawed out completely, add salt to it.
Salt?
Add salt to it.
What just
happens
like sprinkle it on top?
Sprinkle on top, and let it just sit for about 10 minutes. It takes out the excess moisture, not the flavor, right? And almost like when you brine a chicken, it plumps up the prawn meat again. So it takes on again that sea ocean flavor, and it plumps up the texture. They become a little more chunkier, and you get better texture, better flavor out of them. Then let's talk about the anatomy of the prawn.
All right, a little bio going down here.
In my specs today. Okay, so we've got the head of the prawn.
Yeah.
And then we've got the body.
Yeah.
We've got the legs at the bottom.
I see that.
And then we've got its tail.
Yeah.
Now, first things first, on the top of the head, it's got this extremely spiny little bob, okay? Watch out for that.
You don't want that in your mouth.
You don't want that in your mouth, in your hand, none of it. So what I do is, first things first, these are the little feelers that they have that they use to kind of feel around. Don't worry about that, it's gonna come off later. So first thing I do is I start with the segments. You can see there's kind of running on segments along the spine.
Yeah.
The segments closest to the head on the prawn, okay? I grab the legs, one side, and I just peel back. And they just come off, that's it.
Banana or something.
That's it.
All right.
Like a banana.
Yeah, like a banana.
Okay, so you keep on going, and you see that it's not difficult. The segments just come off. Then when you get to the bottom part, sometimes you might actually want to serve the little tail on. If you're serving like a little prawn cocktail, you want to use that tail as a little handle.
Like a fancy.
If you don't want to, you just pull it off. Boom, off. Okay, what I'm left with now is the prawn meat and the prawn head. Again,
all that flesh, yeah.
For decorative purposes, you might want to cook it with the head on. Because if you like prawn flavor, that's where 80% of the flavor is.
In the head?
In the head, absolutely.
Okay. That's like my ma. You know, my ma loves, like, when it comes to seafood and fish, she eats the eyes, the brains, and everything else. And I think that's why she's remained so wise in her age.
Absolutely.
I definitely think she's onto something.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so for the head, it was quite quick. All you do is just hold the body, hold the head, give it a little twist, comes off. Don't throw this away.
Okay.
This is a little bit of water with a few bay leaves, a few onions, some carrots, celery. Most amazing seafood stock. Okay, so we've got the body of the prawn now.
Yeah.
Perfect. What we do now is, this is the curved part, that spine, the vein sitting underneath there. So you get, I'm using a serrated knife, it's the best thing for me. Just run it, you're just gonna split it open gently. You're not going all the way through. And it's amazing, it literally finds that vein every time.
Yeah, kind of like just revealing itself and opening itself up there, yeah.
That's it. So all you're gonna do is just take it out. Boom, that's it. Done.
Easy as that.
You just
nice.
no, you don't throw it anywhere. Then you just
chuck it on someone.
Chuck it on someone. Okay.
Hey, we got another call on the line.
Who's on the line?
Chef Ryle is going to answer this one. This is Chef Ryle and Chef Clem on your culinary hotline. Bling, how may I help you?
People are shy this morning.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Ryle. How are you?
I am so good because I get to talk to you this morning. What's your name?
My name is Sarah, my dear.
Hey, Sarah.
Thank you so much for coming through, Sarah, this morning. We are here to serve and show, so is Chef Clem. What is your question for this morning?
My question this morning, my dear, is how to cook a prawn meat. Not
Got
the
you.
actual prawn, and what is
Got
the
you.
difference between the prawn and the prawn meat, my dear?
Ah,
okay.
Because whenever I cook the prawn meat, it's always so rubbery and hard.
All right. Okay.
Right.
All right, we've
So,
got you.
Sorry, in case you missed what I said earlier, the YouTube link is available, so you can go back, check it all from the beginning again, which is really amazing.
Awesome,
So,
yeah.
what also, like I said, that whole texture being rubbery and like not having the right texture, by adding that salt, that's gonna solve that.
Also, and the defrosting as well, does that have anything to play in it?
Don't defrost it in water. The reason I say that is when you work with seafood and you defrost it in water, it takes that flavor out of it. You'll actually smell the water, and the water will smell like the seafood, but then the seafood will be a little more blander than what you expect. So let it thaw out on its own. That's the thing. So let it thaw out on its own.
Step 1, let it thaw out.
Yeah.
All right. Step
2, a little bit of salt in it, and then
salt.
toss it and do its thing. Step 3, don't overcook it. Once you overcook a prawn, it'll start getting rubbery and actually start shrinking.
How do you know you overcook it?
I'm gonna tell you. One more thing, sorry quickly, because we showed you how to take the meat away, how to take the shell off and you get the meat. If you want to braai a prawn or you want to cook a prawn with the shell still on, okay, very simple. Again, this is why I love blunt nose serrated knives. You're gonna lay the shrimp down on its belly, calling it a belly, and all you're gonna do is get a grip of it, and you're gonna go through the spine.
Coming from the top there.
Coming from the top, and you're gonna open it out, and again, it's gonna reveal
there
that
we go,
vein.
that vein again.
The vein comes out, and what you're left with is this beautiful prawn meat that we split open now, and what's gonna happen is that's gonna cook even faster than having it whole and the veins out. And number 2, there's more flavor in the shell. So this is gonna be tastier than just the prawn meat on its own. Okay, let's go.
Right, so let's get to keeping these prawns nice and soft for Sarah, of course, because she doesn't want no more rubbery prawns. We're not
no more
about
rubbery
that
prawns.
life.
Okay, so what I normally do is I normally start my garlic in the pan when it's cold. That way the oil takes on a lot more flavor. So we're gonna go in with
some butter.
Butter, because we know seafood and butter.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so this is gonna happen very quickly. I can see my butter's already cooking. You wanna make sure you preheat your pan, then get to the point where it's nice and hot.
Right.
We're gonna go in with our prawns. And the thing about, I love Mother Nature. She tells you when food's ready, or like when you're good to start like stirring
so
things around.
what's she telling us over here?
You can see the color's starting to change. It's going pink and it's going opaque, okay?
Oh, yeah.
This is happening very quickly. My pan is actually really preheated.
Scorching.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna turn it over as soon as it's nice and
I
pink.
can already see how pink it's turned from that like grayish white texture.
So you're gonna, honestly, what's gonna happen now is it's gonna go, because the pan is really nice and hot, that's why prawns are so amazing to cook, because they cook so quickly. It's gonna go for like another 30 seconds and we're gonna be good.
Chef Clem,
Talk
question.
to me.
Can I undercook prawns? Is that a bad thing? Is it
you can.
quite dangerous?
You can undercook prawns and seafood in general.
Yeah.
What you're looking for is an internal temperature of 65 degrees. But again, Mother Nature's gonna tell you that. You're gonna start seeing that flesh going from translucent to opaque. And once you see that, and also with the shell's gonna go from that gray color to a vibrant pink.
Yeah.
The prawn meat on its own is gonna cook faster than the one on the shell because it's direct heat with the meat, okay? So it's gonna tell you, and you're gonna be perfectly fine.
So just to repeat that, because I really want to make sure that Sarah also gets this one. You're basically waiting for the meat to go from that opaque see-through color to that white fleshiness. That's when you know it's
and
good to pull,
another thing that it does is you can kind of see it gets a bit of a bounce. It goes from being very soft and silky delicate to a bit of a bounce, and then you're good.
Beautiful.
I mean, dead serious, it will literally take, with prawn meat, you can cook it in a minute. That's the thing, it's so quick. With the shell on, it'll take you about 2 minutes because you really want to make sure you cook it through. And again, the prawn shell is going to turn that vibrant orange. The meat inside is going to turn an opaque. It's beautiful. Then,
look at that, man.
when you add lemon to your seafood, don't add it to the pan. It actually makes the lemon more bitter. It reduces the flavor of the lemon. When you get it out, hit it with that freshness. Then, because we're talking about honey today, I was going to add chili to it, an alternative. And with people like the sour element of the lemon and the sweetness of honey over the prawns, amazing. But then you go to Woolies and you get honey infused with ghost chili. And you put that on your prawns.
Say no more. Chef
so
Clem, listen, guys, unfortunately, that's all the time.
Are we
have
done?
This morning, I know.
Are we done? Okay. Next week, seafood part 2, because there's a lot more we want to do. If you have any more questions, or you want to know about seafood, any hacks, or if you have any hacks you want to tell us, or you have any questions, let us know on our Facebook page, okay? And we'll answer them live next week. We need seafood part 2 coming next week.
Seafood part 2 coming at you right now. Of course, expressoshow.com to get this recipe inspiration if you missed any of it. And thank you again. Sarah, I hope you answered your question, and everybody else that phoned in and put some questions in online. We can't take you enough. Another epic installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting! Thank you very much, Mzansi. That's how we do it.
welcome back. The last few minutes of the show here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Where have you been? If you've missed out, don't worry, Springbok Nude Girls, they're here, they're back for their final performance with a classic of theirs called Blue Eyes to take you into the Wednesday. Take it away, guys.
Grow you up slowly. We're gonna chain you to steel. Sand in the hand. We tell you in the end. Nest your veins in slumber while we feed our arms for love murder. Roundabout, roundabout, roundabout now. Sorry to say, the others didn't make it. Roundabout, roundabout, roundabout now. You're my ticket out of here. Slowly, love you to death. Sand in the hand. We tell you in the end. Nest your veins in slumber, for it's a coming. Roundabout, roundabout, roundabout now. Sorry to say, the others didn't make it. Roundabout, roundabout, roundabout now. You're my ticket out of here.
To the season of sunny breakfasts, healthy lunch breaks in the great outdoors, and romantic sunset dinners. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.